All right, we're finally live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Factory AI's headquarters. And we're going to be giving out 200 million tokens. So thank you so much for showing live. This whole event is sponsored by Factory AI. And for those who have signed up on the Luma link, if you haven't had a chance to, you can actually sign up on the Luma link right here. So just go ahead and scan this QR code. So if you're just showing up to this live stream right now, you want to get your 200 million tokens activated. That's basically a pro plan. And we're going to kick off missions probably in about 10 minutes. So I want you to go ahead and get your account started. So make sure you go to this link. It's rfer.me/ray200. So once you go there, it's going to ask you to fill out a form. Just go ahead and fill out that Google form with whatever you registered for the Luma link. So if you're looking at the Luma link here, you're going to see this little thing. Make sure you select, if you're going to be in person, you could come in person. But we're pretty much, there's still some room here and people are still showing up and trickling in. Go ahead and select live stream only and go ahead and request to join. And once you do that, you're going to get a little email just saying, hey, go ahead and sign up. Once you've signed up and registered, you're going to go ahead and scan that QR code or go to this link below and fill out that Google form. We're going to make sure that your email, it matches whatever you signed up with on the Luma. So that's how you're going to actually start to activate the 200 million tokens. So you're going to need those 200 million tokens because today, what we're going to go ahead and talk about today is missions. So Factory AI has basically launched this thing called missions.ai/news/missions. Okay, so this is something that will allow you to run a very long even it could be multi-day. And I'm going to try to see if I can also update my app. I have an app called YeeBall. So I have a bunch of features that I've been shipping, and I've actually used missions to kick off and get the AI working. So I actually just sent it off to do some of my coding, and I'm going to see if I can actually get this going as well on the stream. We're also going to have Theo, who was actually worked on the project itself, talk about missions as well. So we're going to have him talk about how this stuff actually works. And for those who are just joining in, also in person, this is actually like a live event right now. So I want to show you a little bit of kind of what the vibe's like. So here I am here. There's some other folks who are going to be showing up on the couch. We're going to have them kind of hanging out here too. So they're going to be pulling up. And then we also have a bunch of food and stuff going on. So over here, there's like a little bit of a kitchen. There's a bunch of stuff and food that's going to be going on there. And basically kind of going on with that. And so yeah, there's a lot going on. If you haven't had a chance to sign up, make sure you go to factory.ai to get your account created. This whole event's sponsored by Factory AI. And so, thank you so much. They're giving literally everyone who's participating right now in person behind me 200 million tokens for you to play around with. So you can go ahead and get that stuff started. We're also going to be, since this is live, anyone who's going to be working on any projects, let us know. In person, for the folks who are here literally in person, we're actually going to be giving away a Mac Mini. So we're going to be doing a raffle for a Mac Mini. And so one lucky person as well, as a runner-up, is going to be able to get 1 year's worth of a pro plan. So that's $200 every single month for an entire year. So that's for the people who are here in San Francisco who were able to show up. Thank you so much for being able to do that. Huge shout outs to Factory, who's literally sponsoring this whole build event. And we're going to be kind of getting into the swing of things. And if you have any questions, let me know. There's so much that's going on. I cannot keep up with the chat. But, Foul Reaper, what's going on, man? Still sunny in San Francisco? For sure. Yeah, it's really bright and really beautiful right now in San Francisco. And everything's kind of going on. Nothing is working. Have you been able to get signed up? Did you put your stuff in the Luma? Let me know. We have some people who are actually taking a look at the chat right now. I already signed up before the start of the event, but I've already Factory account as well. Yeah, if you already have a Factory account, that's okay. So if you have a Factory account, go to this little Luma link right there. And so that Luma link will actually, that rfer.me/ray200, that's going to get you that 200 million tokens. So if you go fill out that form, once you fill out that form, that's going to tell you, make sure it's going to ask you what email did you sign up with the Luma link. So you have to be signed up for the live stream to be able to get that as well. So that would be what you're going to go ahead and do that there. How about a factory.org account? So what you want to go ahead and do is make sure you get your account created on factory.ai. And then it's going to, they're basically just going to match your name to the email that you registered with and then be able to grant the credits. There's literally like a human being that's actually kind of reviewing this. So you could use your current, yeah. So if you already have a Factory account, that's fine. As long as it's under your name or like your email and stuff like that, you're pretty much good. So jumping into Uber right now. Pull up. Like you see the scene, it's not crazy right now. There's still some people here hanging out. And I'll show you a little bit to the side. So on the side over here, This is our other camera. This is kind of what's going on. There's still some room for people to sit down and kind of hang out and mingle. So all these folks are basically getting their mission set up. You can kind of see the vibe. This is kind of where I'm at right here. And so like the vibe is kind of chill. As you can kind of see, it's pretty chill. There's not a lot of craziness going on. We also have, by the way, if you're kind of curious, we have a bunch of room in the back. So if you go like completely that way, I'm gonna have my brother show up and we're gonna do it like an IRL kind of walk around as well. So the goal right now is to make sure that you can kind of get all the stuff set up. Make sure you click that link right here once you've already signed up for the Luma link. So if you just go to rfer.me and sign up, I actually have it right now on YouTube. It's currently pinned. Go ahead and take a look there. You should be able to take a look. Organization already has active subscription. Wasn't active subscription. What can you do? If someone is watching the stream, if you're working from factory, see John, can you go ahead and see if let them know that they may be seeing this issue right now? Go ahead and take a photo of this to San Francisco, and we're gonna go see if we can get him sorted out. If anyone else is seeing something similar, just you can go to the front and say, hey, someone's saying that's currently on stream. But there's some people who are currently monitoring the stream right now, and they're trying to get you going on for the $200 account. Oh, go ahead and take a photo of this and bring it to the person in front, and they're gonna get them activated. Yeah, Francisco, we got you, bro. You remember? You got that little star right there? I got you, fam. For sure. I really appreciate you showing up. It basically is just for 1 month. So you get 1 month, 200 million tokens to run your first mission. It's gonna be pretty crazy as far as what you got going on there. As for the last month, yeah, it's just like whenever if you activate it right now, basically $200 of credits are going to show up in your account. Yeah, same error for me. Okay, free tokens. Yes, how's going on, Jeff Huntley? Yes, free tokens. Actually, really free tokens. So if you have an account, make sure you sign up for the Luma link. It's currently pinned to my YouTube video. And then once you sign up for the Luma live stream link, make sure you go to this here to fill out the actual form. They're going to put you on. Yeah, so they said that some of the people, they're working on it. Okay, cool. For those folks who are hitting the 400 error, they're currently working on it right now. So in a couple minutes, we're going to have probably 5 minutes or so, we're going to have Theo, one of the persons who's actually working on the actual missions, come on stream and talk about and do a little bit of a demo. Yeah, man, we got the Jeff Huntley literally up in here. I'm not kidding, dude. It's an amazing stream right now. Getting an error. Okay, I got you, fam. So to claim, once you've created your factory account and once you've already signed into the Luma and registered for the event, go here now. So this is going to be where you fill out that form. It's a Google form. Once you fill it out, she's going to see it. She's boom, and it grants you your credits. So make sure your name that's on the Luma event and the email, at least there's some type of overlap. And then we're going to do that type of thing for them. So got it. Let's go. Okay. So throw some thumbs up in the chat if you've been able to get those 200 million tokens. Fill out the form. Okay. Yeah, you should not be far away. If you don't have a billing method on file, it won't let you use the voucher. That's a trap, not a giveaway. No, that's not true. So it doesn't matter if you have a billing method or not. But we can double check. Hey, John, can you take a photo real quick and see if this is true? Because what I was told is that they're going to give them the 200 million credits, and they don't.
So online when I filled it out today.
Yeah.
It said that actually going through.
Yeah. You don't have a billing method.
Yeah. So it's.
There you go. Cool. It should work.
So you look awesome, like always.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. That's cool.
So I just.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're live.
There you
Okay. What's up?
All right. So I just finished filling mine out maybe 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
With you, and it does ask for billing, but you can always skip it. But it tells you for if you want extra, you have to read what it says. It says if you want extra tokens, whatever, they'll give it to you. But that's not the part of the voucher.
So on yours, does it show the 200 credits?
Well, I didn't get the voucher yet.
Okay, got it.
When you make the account, it asks you if you want to put a credit card on file, and I put no.
Okay.
And that's not that has nothing to do with the voucher.
Got it. Okay, so cool. So yeah, they're going to give you a voucher. They're basically going to email you a voucher, and then that voucher is what you're going to put in. You should be able to see that 200 million credits right away. Yep. So yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and see if you can ask if Theo's around.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, and then we can kind of pop on over and stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. 400. There's a 400 error when redeeming the voucher. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure John is on that. There's also some people who are monitoring the stream from factory to make sure that the 400 error is resolved and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff kind of going on right now. I just want to make sure people are ready. If you already have an access, so if you already have an Aptus subscription, you can still get this, by the way. So they're just going to add $200 of credits on top of you. So if you already have a $200 pro plan, they're going to add $200 more on top of it. It's just the extra $200 of credits. So it's kind of crazy. They make it rain because the missions actually take up a lot. So if you want to use Opus Fast today, I think this is your chance to use Opus Fast. Yeah. Organization already has an active subscription ID. Okay, cool. So I think if someone's watching and monitoring the stream, I'm going to see if I can get someone on that for sure. 200, yeah, no, 200 million is crazy. Yeah, no, it's literally just factory AI pulling up and giving everyone, because running a mission will take quite a bit of tokens, and we want to make sure that we want to try it out. I think this is the whole point. That's why they're like sponsoring the whole stream. And this is kind of why I partner with people like this, because they really truly believe in their products and they really want people to try it out and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Perfect. Hey, what's up, man? So we have the legend showing up in the chat. Let's go. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, pull up here. Cool. Sweet. Cool. Don't worry. So, yeah, we're trying to get everyone sorted out right now. Okay, cool. It's free. Yeah. When does the code and what do the tokens they expire? Yeah, just 1 month. Within 1 month. Got it registered. Cool. It's more than 200 million because there are models that are, yes, exactly. Yeah, so there's a multiplier effect. Certain models, like if you use the Minimax or is it Kimi 2.5, you can get more tokens and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yo, what's going on? Yeah, okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Caroline. I'm on the factory team. So sorry some of you are getting errors right now. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is if you checked in and filled out that form that Christina sent, then I'm going to go ahead and manually give you 200 million free tokens. You are welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. Awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So fill out that form and that'll be in your account, max plan, 200 million tokens. Give me about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Caroline Droid is going off right now.
Yeah, she's going off. Yeah. Actually, like a real, that was not an AI. That was actually a real human, if you're wondering. So yeah, what's going on, man? Do you want to clip this to your, yeah. Cool.
Live?
Yeah, we're live. We're vibing right now. Cool. So let's see. Oops. Yeah, no worries. It's a pretty strong magnet. Yeah. Caroline AGI. Yeah, seriously. No, yeah, it's for sure. This is awesome. Cool, man. So
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
yeah, totally. Yep. You sound pretty good, man. And so if you want to see if you can connect to that stream link, and then I can buzz you in here. 1,400 views on YouTube already? Holy smokes, bro. This is crazy. I had no clue. Let's go. No, this is actually real. I wonder, like, do we actually have bots in the chat or not, bro? I don't know. Caroline's a go. Let's go. Yeah, I can't keep up with the comments. This is insane. Okay, so 402 safe payment methods required to redeem this voucher. Okay, so this is where, Ryan, I think Caroline is going to come through. So make sure you fill out that Luma link right there at that Ray 200. And that's where you're going to be getting it in there. Yeah, she'll take care of you. Sub chat, I'm here in SF. I can't hear the live stream. Oh, because you're actually here in person, right? Will the tokens expire if I'm going to use them in a month? I believe so, yeah. You can hear it good? Yeah, I think you can hear it, right? Oh, here, he is calling. Yo. What's going on, man? Let me put this here. Okay, so you're in the green room now, and then it may ask you to share screen or something.
What is this viewer count? 1,500?
Yeah.
Is this real?
On YouTube, yeah. So like 1,459 on YouTube, 97 on X. Yeah. Bro, you're like talking to a stadium of people right now. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and share your screen. So for those who are wondering, who do we have here live?
My name's Theo. I'm a software engineer here at Factory. And I was, I guess, the engineer who drove missions.
Cool, man. Excellent. How are we doing, John? Audio's good? Okay, cool. Let's go. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is we're going to do a screen share. We're going to talk a little bit about, missions and kind of what this looks like. And if you haven't got set up, If you haven't got set up yet, make sure you get the account created on factory.ai. And then once you get that account created, make sure you sign up for the Luma link. So the Luma sign up is here. So let me just drop this in the chat for everyone. rfpr.me/sf missions. So here is where you'll need to go first. So once you have this account set up on missions, so once you go here, this is going to take you to the Luma link. Register for the live stream with your email. And that same email is just going to say, hey, I've already signed up for the live stream there. And then once that's taken place, the next thing that you want to go ahead and do is scan that QR code right there. So that will be rfpr.me/ray200. You need to register on Luma too. Yeah, thank you, Wes. I appreciate that. This is crazy. And once you register on Luma, go ahead and drop into here. And this is going to be filling out the form. So you need the two together to get the 200 tokens. They're basically trying to prevent, fraud and stuff like that. And, people who create all these crazy accounts and do this automation, we're not trying to have that. We're actually trying to build together. So let's see if we can get this going. Was it able to screen share?
Should I share now?
Yeah, you can share. Yeah. Cool. So what are we building today? We got a treat for you, by the way. Theo's got a really cool treat that we're going to try to see if we can kick off a mission and kind of talk about it some more. So, yeah. Did somebody get 2 billion tokens? Let's go. Okay, I see you. All right. Cool. Guests 2. And then let me get you in the guest IRL. Cool. Is this you?
It is.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And let me get you here. This is going to be camera I think. Okay, cool. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. So here we're going to be taking a look at missions. And so we have your screen currently shared, Theo, and walk us through what's going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm basically going to be demoing missions by starting one from scratch.
Okay.
And then kind of running all the way through up until the mission starts. And while that's happening, I'm going to talk through kind of what the orchestrator is doing and kind of the purpose of everything.
Yeah.
So I guess first of all, to demonstrate kind of how you get into a mission. So once you're in Droid, if you /enter mission, your input box will turn green. And then if it's green, it means you're in a mission, which means that the base session turns into an orchestrator session.
Yeah.
Then basically you want to, the initial step is to talk to the orchestrator until it understands what you want to make. So, this could be, you could start out vague and I kind of iterate with orchestrator, or you could paste in a spec.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to paste in this prompt. Basically what I want to build is kind of a clone of FL Studio. For people who don't know what FL Studio is, it's a DAW, digital audio workstation. So software for creating music, basically.
Nice.
And I personally use FL a lot, but I thought it could be cool if I created my own version. I could customize UX, as well as very easily change functionality, how the mixer works, effects, VSTs. So
it's basically something let me see if I can kind of show some folks here. Like this. This is FL Studio, and this is the digital audio workface. And so with here is basically what he's going to try to recreate there. Something like this, right? Some type of interface like this where you're able to recreate it, right? So that's going to be bonkers. So you're going to basically, there's a lot of interesting aspects of you trying to recreate this because it's an audio workstation and you're using a language model that's text-based. So there's UI.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting challenges and complexity here because, this thing is real time. It's connecting to your audio drivers. There's UI.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an app or is it going to be a web app type of thing?
We're going to do a web app just because, we know that agents are best right now at testing web apps.
Okay. Cool.
Ideally we could do something native or Electron, but this is going to be a web app.
Okay.
But yeah, as you said, I mentioned it here, basically validation. I'll get more into this later.
Okay.
But basically, in order to test this, right, we need the agent or the worker or the validator to actually be able to tell what sound is outputted. And as you said, language models can't actually hear. But what they can do is, record audio, get that waveform, and then do some like programmatic analysis on it, basically.
Wow.
But yeah, now I'll kind of talk through like what it's doing. So the first thing it's going to do is basically like do any research it thinks it needs to do. So like the first phase of the mission, all the way up until basically like it proposes the mission, it's all like planning. And in missions like planning, we dedicate like a lot of compute to planning.
Yeah.
Because we believe that that's really the key. When you're working in a system and you want to make a big change, you can and should plan out the whole change as much as possible initially. So as you can see, I actually gave it some documentation to like, the manual for Raffle Studio, because I told it to like try to replicate as much of the like UX as possible. And it's also like researching it's like more internal technical details as well.
Whoa.
And this last command here, it's actually like also checking my machine to check like what's available. So like kind of the mission needs to have like an environment set up, right? Certain services, maybe ports you use. So that's another thing the orchestrator does up front. Yeah. So as you can see, like the research is actually delegating sub-agents to do the research. And this is like a pretty common pattern in missions as well, where like we want to keep like separation of concerns. So the orchestrator should really only operate on like the architectural level, and any research, gets delegated here.
Whoa.
Also, I wanted to note, I am using Opus 4.6 fast right now for the orchestrator. I don't recommend necessarily that people do that like always, but during like the initial planning, which is interactive back and forth, it is very nice to use like a fast, really intelligent model like 4.6 fast. So
my guy's going crazy with the tokens and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger here. So right now, if we can kind of break down a little bit of what's going on and kind of what this is, maybe explain to the folks who are new to Droid what exactly we are, like what is Droid, what is Factory, and kind of what is this whole thing that like I think maybe people may not have been introduced to Droid and kind of like
yeah. Also something okay.
Cool. Can you show the token usage too? Is there a way to show token usage at all?
Once a mission starts, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I guess an intro to Droid. So Droid is our coding agent. So people who've used like Claude Code, or Codex, kind of like our version of that.
Yeah.
And missions is basically a harness built around Droid. Where the kind of entry point to a mission is a harness for like executing a long task.
Yeah.
Generally for like building like a large piece of software. And yeah, the way missions works is that you kind of enter like this session I'm talking to right now is the orchestrator session. And I start off by planning in this session. Once like all the planning is done and the mission is defined, we're going to kick off the mission runner. And that's going to be spawning basically more instances of droids as workers to do like subtasks like implementation and validation and whatnot.
Wow. And so there's a lot of steps that are going on. And how different is this from like what people are saying, like Ralph or like some type of loop in Claude Code with like swarms or something like that?
Yeah, I'd say like it's definitely based on like part of like some of the concepts behind like the main concept behind Ralph of like you want to keep like having basically starting fresh context windows and focus each context window on accomplishing one task. I think the difference though is that like there's a lot more thought we put a lot more thought into like how do you initially plan to decompose those tasks down, right? To get a really good breakdown. And also like as you implement these tasks, right? How do you actually check that it's correct?
Yeah.
Like, obviously you can have unit tests, component tests, integration tests, but like anyone who has used coding agents knows like that's not sufficient, right? You can have like all the tests passing, it could still be totally broken. So I guess that I can get into like this user testing aspect then. So basically like the type of validation that we enforce like periodically during missions is user testing or like testing the user surface.
Oh.
And what that entails is, for example, right, let's say we're building like a chat app.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. The name of your computer is already in use. Okay.
Oh, because of the Wi-Fi, everyone who's connected to
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
yeah,
now is going to get the same bonjour name. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, user testing. An example of user testing, if we're building like a chat app, for example,
Yeah.
like let's say like our mission is let's build like some like Slack like chat app, right?
Yeah.
User testing would entail like the agent actually going through and executing flows, such as like let's open up 2 browser windows.
Wow.
In the first browser window, let's send a message to the like user A, message from user A to user B, and then go to user B, see if the message shows up, see if like the unread count went up, or like the unread badge went up.
Wow.
Basically like testing as the user would use the app. And the reason that this is ultimately like our final gate, like validation gate, is kind of as close to like the user surface as possible like this,
Right.
is that that's actually the way that like humans find bugs.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the way humans find bugs is they use the software, they do something, they expect some outcome, and that another outcome happens, right? So yeah, we believe that user testing can basically cover everything important as long as it's testable, which I'll get into. But also in like a very efficient way.
So when folks are kicking off these missions, it's not like you're not stuck with one model. You actually can select different models.
Right.
And one thing is basically the orchestrator, which is usually in charge of like delegating and handing off tasks, right? And then you have the other one as like the validator, which is going to be the one that's going to be actually doing the testing.
Yeah.
Like, is it code review as well, or like what goes into validation?
Yeah. I'll get into that. Let me so first of all, like, the orchestrator has done some research. It's checked out my system. Now it's asking me some like questions, like clarify the scope. So it's asking me some questions. Let's say we're going to match it. If
you do Command plus, see if we can get the a little bit bigger.
It's still not big enough.
Okay, cool. Maybe a little bit more. One more. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's gonna ask me some questions, right? Does it want us to like clone the style? Let's just say we have our own visual identity. Do we want samplers and synths? Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good time for me to talk through models. So yeah, in missions, basically in a normal session, right, you have one model.
Yeah.
Right? You can switch the model, but in a mission, we basically have 3 different models. You can see in here in the bottom right, it says orchestrator, worker, and validator. And if I go to model, you can also select. So this is pretty important, if you're actually paying for your tokens, right? For example, well, actually, I'll talk through like what each are. Orchestrator is just this session. So orchestrator kind of does planning, it manages execution of the mission, and it also does like research, because the orchestrator will spawn like research sub-agents. Then we have the worker model. So later on, like you'll see that, in the at the end of the planning phase, we'll have like a list of features.
Yeah.
Which are features basically just a task. And when the mission starts, it's going to be like one at a time. Like one worker picks a task, executes it, moves on to a new worker. Now, this worker model determines like what model you use for the implementation of those features, basically.
Yeah.
And then validator model is used for validation. So there's a concept of milestones, which means actually is I'll get into that later.
Okay.
Validation again is just like code review, user testing, all that. So you can also set a separate model for that.
Wow. So yeah, we definitely have the premium stuff going on. How's everyone doing? I think people are saying we got still no buenos on the token credit. Mike, if you go ahead and if you filled out the Luma link and then you make sure you filled out that Ray 200, and then you should be able to get the token stuff. If not, we're gonna see if Caroline is watching, because she's actually granting people credits right now as people are showing up. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah, getting 400 errors. Okay, so we saw some folks getting some 400 errors for redeeming the tokens. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get some folks on that. Yeah. Okay. Filled everything out, but no link. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. Is there a way to auto build and accept the kind of Claude code dangerously accept permissions type of thing?
Yeah, so in the orchestrator session, there's like this autonomy level. But I think in missions, it's just set to high. You don't have to worry about that. All the workers and validators will all be fully autonomous. They're not going to ask you for any permissions.
Got it.
Okay, so like after I've answered these questions, you can see the orchestrator has basically replied and proposed milestones. So milestones is a concept in missions where it's like a group of like related features where it kind of represents like a logical like unit of work. And per milestone, we like inject validation features. That's when like the validator model comes into play, where it does code review, like procedure review, and like user testing. But one thing I want to note here is that when you get to this point where you have the milestones, you should really like think about like the granularity.
Okay.
I guess like if you want the mission to be longer and have more features, tell it to like split into more milestones. If you let's say you don't want to do that much validation for whatever task you're working on, you want to do it once at the end, you should put everything into one milestone.
Got it.
But for me right now, I'm just going to accept this. I'm just going to say yes.
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO.
Yeah. Let me move my couch over. Okay, cool. Yeah, trying to get a shot. There you go, cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. Sweet. Infrastructure.
So what it's doing right now is it's doing a dry run.
Okay.
Say like, okay, the validation strategy it wants to use, right? It's going to be like using browser use, like click around our app, right? Like, is it actually working? So that's what this dry run's for. It's using a sub agent again to do that. And just make sure that we can actually user test.
Wow.
I think one other thing I wanted to note is that for user testing, like FL Studio in particular, just like screenshots, right, is not really enough because ultimately the output and what matters is the sound, right, the audio. I mentioned this earlier, but like basically LLMs can't actually hear,
right?
But we can be kind of clever and basically while we're using the app with browser use, we can record the sound coming out. Then we can inspect that waveform. And if you think about it, since like we're just gonna, like these synths are just generating pretty like primitive like sounds, you can actually verify pretty well. Is it the right frequency? Is it the right rhythm? Is our EQ working properly?
That's insane. I didn't realize that. I mean, it makes sense when you break it down because like an engineer had to write that so they can translate the analog into ones and zeros, and they represent it with these little waveforms.
Yeah.
And the language models probably seen them somewhere in some train set, right?
I'm sure like Opus GPT can like know how to inspect the waveform and like understand it.
That's crazy. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. Okay. So our dry run is completed, and now,
yeah, that's cool.
So dry run is completed, and it's presenting to us like the infra and as well as the testing plan. Infra is fine. We're just gonna use one single port, browser DB. And here's our like testing validation strategy. So it's going to write unit integration tests, right? Workers are going to write these. And then for user testing, we're going to use Agent Browser, which is like Agent Browser is a like CLI tool that Vercel created that basically like wraps around Playwright and allows you to interact. So it's going to be doing browser use, but also while we're doing browser use, we're going to inject some JavaScript into the web app basically. In order to actually record the audio, and then we can have like scripts basically to analyze it. And we have a concurrency for validation.
So is that launched on the cloud or is that launched on your machine?
These are, I think, all just gonna be local.
Okay.
We're not doing any super heavy like audio processing on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
I'm gonna say yes.
Let's see.
Okay, so it's gonna propose the mission now. So basically, it's gonna like we've kind of established everything like scope, like what else? Milestones, like testing plan, and now it's gonna propose the mission. So let's just wait for that.
Somebody said use FMPEG to make a spectrogram.
That's like the concept, yeah.
That's like, I see.
Something like that.
Wow.
Okay, so here's the mission proposal.
Ah.
The mission proposal, like this is the final gate before we go like full auto,
Whoa.
basically.
Okay.
As soon as we accept this, it's gonna, you can just leave. It should just run until it's done.
Okay.
It's gonna have an overview of everything we just talked about, right? So we have like overview of the plan.
Yeah.
We have the milestone breakdown that proposed and I accepted earlier.
Wow.
We have the information about environment and infrastructure.
Oh.
Boundaries, what ports the mission's going to use, what ports we can't touch, right?
Right.
As well as the testing strategy that we just talked about.
Amazing.
Testing validation, the validation concurrency as well. So this is like how much validation can run at once, basically.
Wow.
For this, it's pretty lightweight. But if your
Yeah.
app is really heavy,
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't want to run them serially, for instance. So it's kind of just recapping everything we already went through,
Yeah.
just to confirm. I'm going to proceed.
Yeah.
And okay, now that it's going to like, there's still like a planning step here,
Yeah.
but it's going to all happen and then it's going to start the mission. But I kind of also want to talk through this planning step because I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Let's see what people are saying. The QR code link. Okay. Let's wait for 10 more minutes. YouTube's probably the worst place to host a hackathon. Okay. Where's the form? Okay. So if you're looking for the form right now, all you have to do is scan that QR code. So, but before you do that, you actually have to go to the Luma link. And so the Luma link is right here. And it should be pinned to my YouTube comments, rpr.me/sfmissions. So if you go here, make sure you sign up for the Luma link. So it'll say sign up for the live stream. You go ahead and do that. That email you signed up with is the same email you're going to go put into the Google form down here where it says Ray 200. And that's going to get you the $200 credits. So that's what you need to do. So first start off with SF missions. I'm going to go ahead and pin this. I think it should already, this one should already be pinned. SF missions. So once you've signed up with your email there, you're going to put that email into the Google form down below. And that's the factory team is currently reviewing this right now. And then you should be able to add that onto your account. So and if you have any problems, let us know. Carolyn's managing the chat. We also have some other folks as well who are currently just activating folks like crazy because we want to go ahead and have you guys build live with us. It's not any fun when you're not building live. If you have any more issues, just let us know. We're going to be here watching and stuff like that. So,
and speaking of tokens, like I saw someone in the chat ask about like what models to use if we don't have infinite tokens. Yeah, I think Opus 4.6 is like my favorite orchestrator personally.
Yeah.
You don't have to use fast; you can just use 4.6. For worker, I think 4.6 is also pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Vouchers we're doing manually.
Oh, manually? Okay.
No,
Okay.
Like just say go through the list manually for adding it.
Okay. Okay, cool. So we're still adding people manually. Yeah, okay. So little public service announcements for anyone who's currently tuning in live right now. So let me just kind of reset everything here while we're going to do this. Yeah. What's happening is that Factory AI is currently sponsoring this live stream. And for those who are wondering, let me just going to change the camera here. Cool. This is going to have less focusing issues. All right. So if you are actually here in person right now watching, someone here is going to be the lucky winner of a Mac Mini. So we're going to be raffling off a Mac Mini for a lucky winner who stays to the very end. Obviously, we're going to try to see if we can find some demos, see what people have been kicking off, playing around with. The whole floor, as you see around here, is kind of buzzing with people, with food, and we have a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. So a big shout out to Factory AI, who's been able to sponsor this event. And so for other folks who are currently kind of around here hanging out, what's actually happening right now is that we're giving folks, if you're not able to make the event here in person in San Francisco, you're going to get those 200 million tokens right here. And from Factory, who's one of the co-founders, says that they're actually manually approving because there's just a huge influx of, everyone's claw bots are trying to like sign up for these tokens and stuff, as you can imagine, and all kinds of automation. And so if you have signed up, if you've already put yourself on the Luma link, like I said below, make sure that you go ahead and sign up for the Luma. And once you sign up for the Luma with that email there, you're going to then go over here and put yourself onto that Google form. Someone's literally manually going through just to make sure everything's okay. So don't waste our energy and resources if you're trying to spin up like, Ray.Fernando, Ray +1 Fernando, or anything like that. Please, because you're basically slowing it down for everyone else. Please be fair. Don't be trying to spin up a whole bunch of accounts and try to sell this type of stuff. It's a big no-no. All right. So make sure you go ahead and sign up. These 2 links right here. Take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. This is how you get started. And if you're already here in person in San Francisco, when you scanned in at the door and they checked you in, they've already sent you a voucher. So you don't have to worry about this if you're currently watching. And if you have any problems, go ahead and get stuff signed up. So yeah, they got a little bit of a backlog, and appreciate everyone else who's been able to kind of get this thing going. So I think that's a little public service announcement. Yeah, so huge shout outs to Factory. Thank you so much for not only sponsoring the stream, but providing everyone in the community to try tokens. And here we have Theo, one of the, I call you the founder of one of the missions, but you started this project in wintertime last year?
Christmas.
Like Christmas? Yeah. And this guy just went crazy with prompting. Not prompting, but just like actually figuring out how to get these agents running for a very long time.
Yeah, it is a lot of prompting. It is a lot of prompting.
So yeah, let's take out what's going on with your screen here.
Yeah. So to kind of get back to it, so after like the mission was a proposal was approved, the next thing that the orchestrator is doing is constructing the validation contract.
Yeah.
And I think this is like really core to missions, this contract. Basically, it's like a list of assertions that defines like what done means.
Wow.
All the assertions need to be true, basically, for us to consider the mission done. And as you can see, it's again delegating the sub-agents like for different areas.
Wow.
In this case, right, this is like greenfield project. It's like a new repo. So it may be doing some online research and just thinking. If we're working in the existing code base, these sub-agents might all be doing like exploration. But basically, we're creating like this. So we have a first pass where sub-agents like created assertions for the category.
Yeah.
And then we're using another worker to assemble them. This is gonna be pretty big. I imagine it's gonna be like a few hundred assertions. And then Orchestrator also is gonna create like other
move the chair.
It's also gonna create other like files that service shared state, basically.
Wow.
Services is like how to run services, right? Init, script, and like some library files for different categories. And these library files will get updated like throughout the mission. So you're kind of setting it up to continually learn as more and more workers run.
Whoa. So I don't know about you, but when I've been coding a lot with AI, I haven't really set up as much testing as I normally would if I was just coding by hand. And I've been super embarrassed because like I've probably spun up like 20 different projects, and I was like, I'll get to testing later, or I'll test in production or something like that. And I think it's my own side project and I just want to do something. I noticed that when I started using missions, that like it starts to add tests for me, and then adding features later on, it would like actually the agent will see, hey, you have tests. Let me go ahead and see if I can run those too, and then add some other tests as well when I'm making updates.
Right.
So is this something that you're like actively, even though you're developing a new feature, you're still basically like you somehow use this as part of your agent harness inside of Mission to I call this kind of like groundskeeping, like keep this stuff going and task?
Yeah, I think tests are very useful and very, very important if you want to maintain like coherence and correctness. In a mission, you're typically building like layer on top of layer. You need like each layer to be solid to get to the next layer, or else they'll accumulate. But yeah, one aspect of it is that in missions, like all workers are required to do test-driven development, which means they write tests first and then they implement. So that happens on like that's it within like the individual worker skills.
Yeah,
it's like part of the instructions. So you have to write tests first then implement. And what writing tests first before like implementing does is it forces the tests the tests are more useful because they'll be based off like, again, expected functionality. Whereas if you write the implementation first and then you write tests, those tests are going to more just reflect the implementation. So it's really a matter of like what's in the context when it writes the tests. But actually, like interestingly, this step here it's still like it's still doing like review passes on the validation contract here. We dedicate a lot of tokens to this part. But basically, the creation of this validation contract is also on a higher level. It's defining tests, right? So we're defining like, in order to consider the mission complete, an agent has to run through these flows. They all have to pass as expected. And in creating all these assertions up front during the planning phase, we're creating tests before we implement. So it's the same principle kind of applied on like a higher level, if that makes sense. So yeah, that it is a very important kind of principle of missions for sure.
Do you spin off new chats or sub agents to do those tasks, or is it just one large like session? Or like, if
you're talking about
trying to do this in Cloud Code,
features?
Yeah. For how do you like not flood your context window when you're like generating all this token generation stuff?
Yeah. We use a lot of sessions.
Okay.
It's very much like both in the research phase here or like kind of the planning phase where each of these task tool calls is a sub agent.
Oh wow.
So we do a lot of delegation up during the planning phase. And also like during the mission when we execute, again, it's like after we finish the validation contract, we're going to create this features list. It's just like a task list basically. And once the mission runner starts, it's going to execute one task at a time from top to bottom of that features list. And every agent has like a fresh context. But they all like in the beginning will like look at all the shared state basically that we set up. Well, yeah, like one mission, could run like hundreds of sessions. Like,
wow.
I predict that this mission here is going to have more than like 50, 60 features.
Crazy.
So
explain the feature, because there may be some people who have never like done the project management side of things. They've just kind of prompted stuff into existence. And how far will someone get if they're doing like a mission type of task versus just prompting into some agent somewhere, some box? Like, what's the difference? Maybe like, if I go to Cloud Code and just say, build me the same thing.
Yeah.
What are the trajectories then?
Yeah, basically like what missions does is first of all like it's meant for like large tasks that like if you just know your normal Cloud Code session, like any like individual like agent session really is not going to be able to like coherently like achieve goals of the size that like missions can achieve. And the reason for this is that upfront, like missions that were upfront at the beginning of a mission, the orchestrator does like a ton of planning and just thinking like on a higher level of everything that needs to be built. And then once we have that, we can split it up into smaller tasks and have like each implementation agent then tackle like basically a much smaller, more focused, feasible task. So this means that like the scope of what you can do is much bigger, maybe like 40, 50 times bigger than like what a normal session could like reliably complete.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Awesome. Yeah. So let's kind of catch up a little bit on the comments and see what's going on. Do you have payment to get tokens? No. They're going to email you the voucher, and they're still going through like a really large list right now, mostly just for fraud prevention. And you will be getting some soon. And then you just add it right into your account. I didn't add a payment. Yeah, you're fine. Exactly. Yeah. If you're starting a mission for Android app, you would need to set up a blank project. So the agent will need to create all the setup files.
You should just you can create a new folder really and just start a mission in there. It'll set up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you might need to set up is like some way to like validate.
Yeah. There are actually people, this whole room is filled with people like that are actually like building some stuff. So everyone has a laptop, and we're going to go around probably like in the next 15, 30 minutes or something like that. And I'm going to walk up to people and see kind of what they're building and see what they're talking. So stay tuned. And then someone here is going to win a Mac Mini that's literally physically in this building. So the Mac Mini is for this person in San Francisco. And then another person is also going to win a whole year of literally a $200 a month plan for like 12 months. So that's going to be really crazy. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, they're still going through the list. If you're still applying for the promo, make sure you go to the missions link. So if you haven't signed up for the live stream, go here first and make sure you're signed up for the live stream, and then go over to this part here with the QR code. Fill out that QR code. And if you're already in San Francisco, as soon as you've checked in, you should have already received a voucher. So you don't have to do this if you're already here physically in San Francisco. Let's see what's going on. Cool. Haven't got the tokens yet. Yeah, so you'll be there for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Guys, I'm a complaint department. Just handle my complaints. I don't know what's going on. No, man, you got to be here in person. You got to be here in person to get this. Yeah. I already like the platform. Okay. Cool.
Can they still see my screen, by the way, or?
I can, yeah, show them your screen right now. Let's go.
Okay.
Whoa. Nice.
It's still going. Now it's
Okay.
creating the features, so like the list of tasks I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to note about the features is that they're connected to the validation contract.
Uh-huh.
So actually, I can probably open up this. It's not too good. Okay, this is fine. I think it's bigger.
Okay. Cool.
This is the validation contract.
Oh
I
my
think it has
God.
like 600 something assertions. But you can see like this is what they are, right? Like
Oh my God.
you want to test everything as a user would use it, right? A user will click to select a node, right?
Yeah.
They'll do like different shortcuts, control click, control shift click. And you just want to like make sure all the behaviors are like as expected.
Dang.
And later I think when you get
So
down,
the agent wrote all of those. It doesn't
Yeah.
look sloppy. It's super clean. Very
What-
succinct.
yeah. I mean,
Whoa.
we like did we dedicated like probably already like 8 or 9 full sessions just to fleshing this out, because it's really like
Look at area piano ball roll mute tool.
yeah
Slice tool. So these are very detailed features. If you've ever prompted anything, a lot of times, like I would get disappointed with certain models because, especially Open, it would only do one of the 4 of the mute tool,
I get
and it
lazy.
would say like, "Cool, I'm out. Like I'm done."
Yeah,
And you're like, "Oh wait, I have to create a new chat." Then like you spend so much energy trying to keep track of all your features, and so this is what's super exciting to me right now is because somehow you force the model. This is the same Opus model that everyone's saying is slop, by the way. I think Opus is the one who generated all these contracts, right? Oh,
yeah, this is all open.
Come on, like how many lines? 4,000, bro.
4,000 lines.
Damn. So
Yeah.
Opus generated, like, I don't know if you guys realize what's going on right now. We are talking to one of the masters at prompting, probably in the world right now. Like, I'm seriously, like, to be able to prompt a model to generate that length and that, like, really detailed level of, like, user testing for your app is really unheard of. But also with Opus, right? Like, that amount of, like, level of detail
Effort.
and effort, yeah,
Yeah.
that you actually need. You need this in your actual thing, but then once it's one thing to generate this thing, but then there's the other parts that need to happen once your app is being developed, and then once the model needs to do that, like the next step, it's like, okay, what part of this are we at, and what part of the things we're going to validate, right? So
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna get to that.
that's crazy, man. He is Opus 5 himself.
I think okay,
Bro,
like
that's-
in terms of effort, right? The reason that it's so long is because we like
Bro, you are him.
okay, each session I say has like a effort level.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to put a lot of effort in, if you delegate to sub-agents, they'll all be able to put in that amount of effort. If you want even more effort than that, you can even do another level of delegation. We have to think about, like, in order to actually dedicate a ton of compute to generating this thing, we have to use multiple sessions with, like, clean context. And they all have to be responsible for, like, part of it, basically. But yeah. So it's creating the features now. Okay, this is the last step before the mission starts. It's creating the features list, like the task list. And, okay, now that we have this big contract, right, for like 600 like assertions, like how do we actually enforce it?
Right. Yeah.
And the way we do this is when the features list is created, each feature has like a field that's called fulfills. And this fulfills, it's a list of assertion IDs. So every single assertion in this validation contract is going to be mapped to exactly one feature. Meaning that like the sum of all the features should implement every single one of these assertions.
Wow.
And based on that mapping that we have in the features, per milestone, so at the end of like a milestone, right, we can look at basically, okay, what are the features that have just completed? Which validation assertions are now testable because they should be fulfilled? And then we just spawn like a bunch of validators to basically test it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not like we have to make it create this really like thorough contract from the beginning, but also during execution, systematically enforce the validation of all the assertions. You can't just leave it up to the model. I think that's like a big difference between missions and like other systems is like we don't just give it like a scratch pad, right? It's like we have a prompts file that's like 3,000 lines, and it just very clearly details like the procedure it needs to take, like, and also like systematically will inject like validation features, right?
Wow.
So let's see what the progress is.
That's an insane level of attention to detail, but then also to make sure that the model actually follows through. And in your case, this is still Opus generating these things and setting up the scaffolding. And then the verifier is going to now take that structured output. And if they're only given one little session and one criteria to do their thing, after the work is created, they're just going to follow exactly the level of detail there.
Yeah. I guess
that's probably the importance of why you want these different models, because each of them have different behaviors, right?
Yeah, there's that aspect as well.
Easy.
Like if you look at like our models here, so first of all, like you can see here my mission has started. So it's created the features, my mission has started. I can press Control G to go into like this dashboard, like mission control view. And within here, we can see, first of all, I'll go over the model. So in here, you can actually change the models. So again, worker model, validator model.
Yeah.
I tend to like using Opus for implementation. But for validation, I'd say like GPT models are generally better. Like GPT models are more thorough. They care more about correctness.
Right.
Like on this, even to like bordering like what some people might consider like nitpicking, right? It's like maybe you'll even find stuff like if you're just coding something that you don't care.
Right.
But like it will be more correct if you use like a GPT model as the validator. Okay, I guess we can go through. See, here's the features list.
Wow.
Right? We have the okay, so we only have 48 actually. Plus 10 because of the per milestone validation that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But let me actually just show. Let me show this. SD features.
Wow.
Here's like a feature.
Wow.
Basically, a feature you can see it has like this is like okay after you implement the feature, these are also assertions that should pass, but these are not like programmatically like enforced. And we also have for like not for this initial feature, but you can see this fulfills field. For this second feature, app shell layout, these are the assertions from the validation contract that after completing this feature are supposed to pass.
Wow.
So per milestone, the validator will just look, okay, which features are completed? What's the sum of like all their fulfilled like lists?
Wow.
That's what we test.
And the orchestrator is keeping track of each of these in its context window, or is that like?
Like the progress is generally tracked in like shared state. So like which assertions have been validated? We have this file called validation state. Yeah. You see, they're all pending right now.
Yeah.
But like as they are completed, these will become like completed, I think.
Wow. That's cool.
So I think it's like this stuff is very much like enforced.
Wow.
We force it to validate everything. We force it to plan out validation, and we force it to validate.
Wow. That's awesome. So we're here at Mission Control. we have this is like the main view of you looking actually into one of the sessions, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
so
one.
like this is now like the main view, right? Yeah. Wow. So
I guess I can talk through maybe
yeah.
this
Kind of like the
screen.
layout, yeah.
Yeah. So we have here on the right like features. Right now we're on the first one. We have a progress log. It's like, okay, which like worker started. As you can see,
Yeah.
each worker like starts a specific feature. Each feature is executed, but like each worker takes one feature and executes it.
Got it.
And then on the left, top left here, we have like active feature. So this is the feature that the current worker is working on.
Oh.
I can actually go to F. You can go see all the features. I can click more so we can see like more. I mean, I already showed this like in that file earlier,
Yeah.
but at the bottom here, we have like a stream of the worker session.
Oh.
But if you want to like a more detailed view, you can press W, and then that shows like all the worker sessions, enter, and then you can actually, you know, watch the progress more like comprehensively. The cool thing about this whole UI is that I created the entire thing within one mission. So, if you like this UI UX, that's a testament, I think, to like these things are capable. Like it takes care of like correctness for the most part.
Yeah.
So I was really able to focus on design. I mean, I didn't design the whole thing. To be fair. We have a designer, right? And like our CTO Eno actually created this front page, but like everything else was like one mission. Yeah, I guess we can watch this. Okay,
That's
so
pretty
this first worker just finished.
Whoa. Okay.
You see, it did end feature run at the bottom.
Okay. And feature.
So it finished. We can press H to view its handoff, but basically it just said, okay, I did the stuff. There's no issues or anything. So it's just gonna move right on to the next feature.
Oh, okay.
If this worker had some issues, like in this handoff, like what was left undone, or like it surfaced some like issues, we would return control to the orchestrator.
Okay.
So it can like do something about it, right? Whether that's like creating a fixed feature or like doing like if everything goes smoothly and all the features are executed, we can just keep going. It doesn't even have to return to the orchestrator. I think that's another thing. It's like in missions, the orchestrator doesn't have to like micromanage every single worker. It doesn't need to, right? It's upfront. It's already defined the plan.
I see.
And let's just execute it. And it only has to step in to steer when something goes wrong.
So, and if there is something that goes wrong, it can correct itself in that session or hand off to go generate some new tasks to be done. Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So like, if like there's some issue found, generally you probably see the most issues found at the validation per milestone, because those validators, again, they're like testing the assertions, right? They'll surface anything that doesn't work. It's rare for it to just one shot all the assertions. So it's gonna return with like, we failed these assertions, or if it was like the code review step that failed, it's like, okay, I found these bugs.
Yeah.
It's gonna return to the orchestrator, and then from that point, the orchestrator can decide what to do. Oftentimes it just has to create. Maybe it'll like spawn a sub-agent to like investigate, right? Like the claim, right? Okay, something doesn't work. Let me spawn a sub-agent to investigate, to kind of understand on a high level what needs to be done. Then we have enough information. It can then create another feature, put it into that feature JSON list, resume the mission, and then like a worker will implement the fix, and then we'll like rerun the validator.
Oh, nice. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So for those who are just kind of joining in, thank you for Factory AI for sponsoring. We basically are building live. And so for the folks who are currently here, they got all checked in and everything. We got a whole bunch of food. We got a whole bunch of vibes that are going on over here on the side. There's a bunch of folks who are currently eating over here. I'm going to show a little bit of kind of what that's looking like. We have a little camera. And then we have a bunch of stuff going on kind of like behind us with the builders and everything. And so if you're currently watching in, be on the lookout. If you're wanting to get the tokens redeemed, someone's still going through manually and adding everyone in. So if you've already filled out this form right here, it's literally a Google form, just trying to make sure that you're able to get your 200 million tokens. And if you are just dropping into the stream right now, make sure you sign up to the Luma link. So once you sign up to this live stream, just go ahead and select live stream. You're going to want to put that email into that Google form right there. Once you put it into that Google form where it says rapr.me/ray200, Caroline is literally going through as well as some of the other factory team members to grant you the 200 tokens. So the 200 million tokens are literally that's a max plan. It's $200 for the month, and so you get that today. And it's kind of like previously, if you give vouchers and stuff, people end up abusing them. So we're actually trying to make sure that people who are currently here building live, let us know. Drop your username in the comments or whatever stuff to let us know that like, hey, I'm still here on the stream. I'm still building. Can you prioritize me? So that way, we'll prioritize you right now. Because I know other people were trying to get the stuff on earlier, and we're not trying to get bots to get free tokens, right? We wanted to get it to you. So obviously, don't abuse the system, and just let us know that you're still here. And if anyone's having any issues, we're going to try to see if we can get that facilitated to you guys, because they want to, factories, sponsoring this stuff here. And for those who don't know, currently who I have here with me on the stream, he is the man, the myth, the legend. He's actually the man, I would say the greatest of all time as far as prompting. There are so few people in the world that can prompt at the level of detail that you're doing. But it's like one thing to make one prompt. It's one thing to get like one output. It's another thing to build an entire system that can not only build one thing, you can build many things. It can also like fix bugs in existing repos, right? Yeah. You can learn about your repo and go about doing all these things. And that's kind of what's cool. It does take a lot of tokens, obviously, to generate these nice long types of things. But at the end of the day, I feel like this is technical debt that I would never do. And like, I want to delegate more to these AI agents. So it's really fun that we get to try this out today. So huge shout outs to Factory here for sponsoring the stream. And we're just kind of taking a look at basically the missions. So this is mission control. This is the current active feature he's working on. Is it 58 features?
58, yeah.
Wow.
58 plus 10, like this 10 is based on like how many milestones there are, because each milestone we're gonna have like scrutiny user testing, right? So it's 58, but also like 5 milestones.
Wow. Wow. That's so cool. And so what we're taking a look at here is basically like a big overview of a plan that we were just setting up earlier, like about less than an hour ago or something, like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I think probably like less than an hour ago.
25 minutes.
Yeah, 25. Yeah. And we're basically trying to recreate FL Studio. So if anyone who doesn't know FL Studio, let me see if I can kind of get this pulled up here. I don't think I have it yet. So yeah, maybe you could pull it up on the website, like FL Studio.
FL Studio?
Yeah.
It's like it's a doll, right?
Yeah.
It's for making music. I basically want to clone like this is like incredibly complex, by the way, like the entire thing. But I wanted to clone like the core functionality, like all the shortcuts I'm familiar with, all the UX. So like the pattern rule, the piano roll,
Wow.
the timeline, mixer, the VST's effects.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what this mission is doing.
Whoa, that's cool, man. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Epic.
I mean, at this point on, I think it's just going to run.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for it to even get to validation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if you want, we can connect back again and check back in and see how things are going on the stream and kind of catch up with some folks. Because
yeah,
as you can see, the vibe is pretty much buzzing right here. I think a lot of people have kicked stuff off. I'm going to see if I could actually get together, kind of catch up a little bit with the stream and see how everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, big shout outs. Congratulations for the big release here with the factory.
Yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate you all for tuning in.
Yeah, you guys are so awesome. And it's pretty cool that we were able to kind of hang out together and get the stuff going. So I'm going to, I could disconnect you from the screen share.
Yeah.
And then we're going to check back in on that a little bit later. And I want to go ahead and see like what's actually going on in the room, see what people are working on and kind of see what's going on there. So yeah, cool. And let's see if we can get some food as well. It'd be really, really cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. Cool. Yeah, thanks for showing up. And we'll have him come back. If anyone is actually here in San Francisco, you can go ahead and talk to Theo. He's going to be roaming around here in the back. And just ask him some questions and stuff. There's a bunch of people who are kind of hanging out back there.
Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's see what's going on in Fruit. Yeah, Fruity Loops, FL Studio. Exactly. Perfect. Thank you, man. Cool. So yeah, see the yeah. This. What are people doing there? So yeah, I'm curious too. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can try to go around. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Kira doesn't have a feedback loop or detailed planning or validation feature to figure out user testing. Yeah. Yeah, so you can get the 200 tokens, by the way, where if you've already signed up. So make sure you sign up for that Luma link that I said earlier. It should be pinned in the YouTube thing. And then this is the link that you want to use right here after you've already signed up on the pin link to get the 200 tokens. 200 million tokens. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, cool. Starting my first mission now. Also, cool. I'm so glad you were able to get that kicked off. Great target. I can run this as a full mission. Frauken Hans, what are you actually building? I'm really curious. My goat, Butoshi. What's going on, man? Did you get your tokens, Fred? Did you get the 200 million? Let me know. Let me know. We can get it in. Yo, we got a legend. Legend in the chat. Let's go.
What's up?
Well, let me see if I can get you on.
Everybody.
Hold on.
And
Hold on. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, go ahead and sit down, man.
Yeah.
I'll pull up. See if I can get you. Okay, I got this here. Yeah. Do you want to?
what's up, gang?
All right. So, who are you? What's going on, man?
All right, how's that?
Yeah, you're good. Good. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Can they hear this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all like noise canceled and everything. So
Okay.
it sounds like we're in a studio.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Cal. I'm a product designer slash kind of evolving
Legend.
into a design engineer here at Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is this
Yeah,
is
what's the
really
vibe back there?
overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've just been I've been walking around talking to people, answering questions, and like listening to people's ideas on things that they're building.
Yeah.
Really wild stuff. Yeah.
So what are they making back there? Like anything interesting?
Um,
What's this robot thing that's right here, by the way?
okay.
Like a handwriting thing, right?
Yeah.
These guys are right behind us. I don't know even like they're super
Yeah.
cracked, right? Literally like
Yeah. Pretty insane.
like right here.
Actually, let me show you.
Let me see if I can bring
Wait,
the camera.
Jake, can you give me one of the printouts? It's on my desk. All right. Yeah, they use Droid to turn photos into line drawings, and then those line drawings are being actually drawn out by like a plotter, essentially like a little 3D printer that's drawing it on paper. It's pretty
No
wild.
way, bro. What?
Do you want to get on this live stream?
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. So that's me.
Yeah, it's right here.
I don't know. Oh, it's this one.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Pretty crazy. I don't know. I think I see the resemblance. This is James Buckhouse.
Yeah. What do we have here? Yes.
Well, we're teaching droids how to paint.
Yeah.
And so here's Cal. Here's Cal's portrait. And how it's done is you can just see the setup behind us. We've got a webcam, snaps a pic, removes the background, sends it off to do a style transfer into line drawing looking stuff, takes that line drawing looking stuff, turns it into paths, and then draws it out on a pen plotter.
And these guys also have another project cooking. They have a mission running right now that is outrageous. I don't even want to spoil it yet. I think you should, when you get like mobile
Yeah,
and start.
You come over and we
cruising.
should do your portrait.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
get your portrait done, and then they'll show you the mission that they're running, which is absurd. I think that's going to be a hit tonight.
My brother is gonna get set up right now for the IRL.
Amazing.
Amazing. All right.
Cool.
Great. Thanks so much.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome, man. Such crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
There's it's like literally wild. And so, for those who don't know you, maybe see if you can kind of introduce us a little bit to, you said you're a designer. You started working here with Factory Team.
Yeah, started working with the Factory Team 2 years ago. But also, I've been working with Matan and Eno from the very beginning when like they were like pitching and like really early days, like helping them with their logo, their pitch deck, major throwback. But I was just vibing, helping out with design, did some contracts here and there, and yeah, went full time just about 2 years ago.
Wow. So your last name is,
Grinberg
and your brother's is
is Grinberg.
who is Matan?
Yeah, Matan is my younger brother. He's 2 years younger. I was living in New York. He gives me a call. He's like, Cal, me and my buddy from Princeton are starting a company and we need a logo, we need a pitch deck, we need you to help us like visualize the idea that we have. And that's what I did. I was like, say less.
Say less, bro.
Say less, let's do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't start full time. Like it was just I basically just vibe designed with them for a little bit. And but yeah, at some point started working closely with their founding engineers, David and Nikita. Really good vibes. Like we collaborated really well. It was like the most fun work I had done in my career at that point. And yeah, it just kind of naturally, like I think about a year after they started, it kind of naturally evolved into like there's a lot more product design work that's top of mind for us, and we need someone to own that. And like we're working with you for the last year. Let's just like get you in here.
That's amazing, man. That's a really cool story of like brother, like just kind of evolving with it. So yeah, like a lot of cool design stuff, you know, comes from like here, and obviously it's been growing a lot. And what I want to do is I want to see if you can like a little bit later on come back and like get some of the people up on design, because I think that's going to be a big differentiator between what people make in prompting, right? Like how do you think about design? How do you think about making something your brand?
In my world, that is everything. You're speaking my language. I'd love to chat about that with you.
That'd be cool, because like everyone knows when they see something from factory, they're like, that's such cool design. And I think a lot of people like it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna see if I can get my brother. I think he's on live.
Cool.
Let's see if we can kind of take a look. I think I got him in the IRL stream. Let's see. I can do guest IRL, and I could add him to, I think it's guest 2. Cool. Oh, here he is. Yeah. Sweet. So he's actually walking around right now with the camera, and I think he's got a camera right now hooked up. I don't know if he's talking to anyone right now. Oh yeah. So yeah, basically he's going around talking to people. There is no audio from what he's doing right now. He's just literally just meeting people. Oh, let me see if I can get his audio up on here. Give me a second. Muted his sound levels. Okay. Let me guess. Hello? Can you hear? Cool. Thanks, man. I don't think I could hear you. Here we go.
So at the moment, what we're doing is first
I can't hear
we're
them,
using
though.
the missions. So it's asking us
Let me get my
questions,
headphones on.
features we want to implement, things that we would like to change, and based on that, we give it all, and it's going to make a whole PRD, and then we're going to send it off.
We have got the 200 million tokens.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's different about this one compared to the other?
Well, before we were using the Ralph workflow, and we learned that this is so much more in terms of the context window. It's going to be much easier because we have everything in just one place. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry. Do you want to ask something?
Yeah. No. This is cool. Can you go back to the robot guy over here?
Yeah, let me go back over there. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
How's it going? This is so cool.
So sure.
For those who are wondering, my brother is doing the IRL stuff.
But I don't know, like,
Sorry.
am I presenting? Like, should we do the presentation now or wait?
A little bit. Where are you working right now?
Sorry, well, like Eno is gonna present.
For present the projects?
Yeah, or like missions in general to like, because there are some people that are kind of.
Actually, do you want to ask them right now? Here, you ask them right now. Here, hold on to this.
Okay. Hey Ray, can you hear me? I cannot hear you, but so
I can hear you.
we
Yeah.
want to bring people up to speed. We want to bring people up to speed. Some people have joined the event recently, and we just want them to get onboarded. Like the CLI is set up in most cases, and also like Max Plan is good to go. We just want to make sure that everyone is set up for success.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Thank you. I'll swing by in a moment.
Cool. Appreciate it.
We're going back to the guy with the robot right now, okay?
Okay.
Are you helping build this too?
Yeah, I built it with my dad. Team project.
Well, my brother wants to talk to you more about it. About the project.
Oh, is that your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants
Okay, how's
to
it going?
talk more about this. Yeah. Oh, here you go.
Oh, it's
Here
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
That's fine. Want to ask more about your project? There you go.
Could we ask everyone to like
Give him a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, so can you explain a little more about what's going on?
Well, we're teaching the droids how to paint. So there's a webcam, takes a picture. We remove the background. We do a style transfer, so it turns into line drawing, turn those into paths, and then the pen plotter draws it out on a piece of paper.
Can you show us an example real quick?
Sure. Like here's an example of a finished drawing.
So how do you just take the image? Like, can you show us how you take the image to host it?
Sure. Let's do one of you.
All right.
Here. Can you hold?
I'll hold it. You want me to sit down or? Okay.
What it looks like.
All right, cool.
That's really awesome. This is taking place in San Francisco, by the way. This is literally like right over here. You can see that's my brother right there.
Yeah.
Ready.
Just look
All right.
again.
All right.
Look here.
I'm ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sit.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Next
All right.
Over here.
So that's calculating it.
That looks cool.
There you are.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Here you are. Done.
Look at that. That's amazing. Oh, this demo is cool. I see demo. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about? Could you use this for like using comic books, stuff like that? So then if you have someone pictures an image, you can have like the rotation of the face, and that way they could draw it manually, or this could draw it for you automatically, right? For printing out. Can do that?
I mean, I think you could. You could use it to draw whatever you wanted, right?
John, I think what's cool is you can do giant buildings with massive, like huge like
that's
walls.
right.
Yeah.
Like portraits.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could imagine the arms being 20 feet long instead of a few inches.
Okay.
All right, so there's your drawing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's pretty fast. Holy smokes, that's pretty fast.
Yeah. All right, here you go.
Cool.
Keep this.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah, sure thing.
Cool. Thank you.
That's epic.
I'm going. So, hey,
Hey,
what are you
John.
working on right now?
We're gonna switch.
Just trying to get going. Was it?
Yeah, we're gonna switch these.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, John. That was really cool. Yeah, so John was walking around a little bit, giving us the IRL stream style, and we're gonna switch it now over to Reyes. How's it going,
Hey folks, how's it going? Excited to be here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The energy in the office right now is totally electric. It's just so cool to see the community come out here and build, and people are doing some crazy things with missions. Yeah, it's been awesome.
So speaking of crazy things, let me go ahead and see if I can get yours pulled up here, because you've been working on some stuff. It kind of started to blow up on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if I can get this up here. So what is this?
Yeah. So this was actually like a pretty funny thing. It was a weekend ship that I did. It was like Friday evening at the office.
Yeah.
Like 7 p.m. And a couple of us were talking about like smart home automations. And when I was like 5 or 6 years ago, I used to go on like the HomeKit subreddit. I used to be really into home automation, and in my head, I really wanted us to build, or I really wanted to build some sort of like smart home app that had, like almost like The Sims. Like you get your own little 3D environment and all of your furniture's there. And if you looked online, all the tools to do this were pretty bad. And basically what I did was I came back from the office and I said, I wonder if a factory mission would work at like basically building this thing. And so I had it build. I did two things. The first is I sort of spec'd out in a voice note for about like 3 minutes. I just sort of described what I wanted. I was like, I want this this 3D model house. I want it to control the lights. I'm going to include photos of my actual apartment and my actual floor plan. And I want you to use Nano Banana to generate this 3D mock-up of my apartment and then generate different states and combinations of the lights being on, of the furniture. And so what it did was it made this app that, it lets you sort of interact with this 3D environment, hover over different rooms. And the design input I said is I wanted it to look like Spike Jonze's Her mixed with an Xbox 360 and liquid glass. And I feel like it did a pretty good job of capturing that vibe.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so this is definitely my favorite mission that I've done so far. Just super fun.
Whoa. So all the stuff that we're seeing is actually activating the lights.
Yeah.
In
No,
your house, right? Like,
no,
it's not like a movie or anything like that.
no. This is like a real app that actually what I was doing this on my Mac Mini at home, which has HomeKit enabled. And basically, when you have Droid on a Mac Mini at home, it can you can give it permission to basically scan your Wi-Fi network and find all of the devices and connect to them. So it scanned my network and found all of these different devices and sort of listed them out. And because I already have HomeKit configured with rooms, it like knew exactly which room was where, how to put stuff together, and made a bunch of inference that I guess was correct. And it generated this, so it was super cool. And this is like, I guess, my mind was blown when I saw this, but I think it is pretty crazy. Like, this is exactly what my apartment looks like to the T. It is shocking how you can even see the little, on like the refrigerator in the bottom.
Yeah.
You can see the little like cards that we put on the fridge.
What?
You can see like we had like a blanket, throw blankets on the couch.
Oh my God.
That's my computer that I was doing this at in the upper right hand corner. So I mean, it was pretty gnarly. I was really shocked at the quality of this thing.
So what's like, tell me about the prompting and how do you got like the images? Did you have to do a lot of Nano Banana prompting, or did you have to make tooling for it? Like how was that like?
Yeah, so Droid has we actually have a built-in plugin that allows for like image generation, but it's not built-in's the wrong word. If you go to like our factory GitHub repo, we have a plugin for, we call it Droid Evolved, but it gives a couple of cool built-in things like image generation, a skill called human writing that makes your writing sound way more like a human, and some other cool stuff. And so that has a Nano Banana CLI that was also actually a mission that we generated. And that Nano Banana CLI can take in like conditional inputs. And so when I pointed it at the folder and I said like, just make it work, it did a really good job of just making it work.
See, this is crazy.
Yeah. Totally.
This is crazy. I'm curious what use it. Like, has anyone used a desktop version? Okay, let's see. That's awesome. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like,
yeah, and
he literally said he gave us the pictures.
I'm also reading these, and by the way, folks, if you don't have the credits, really apologize. We're working on our end to get those handed out, and certainly if by the end of this stream you guys don't have your credits, please let us know. We'll provide some info to fill out all this other stuff, and we'll make sure that we make it right. We'll get you your tokens no matter what. So it may not be, if it happens to not be today, we will definitely make it work.
For sure. Yeah, it definitely everyone who's had problems and stuff before. Obviously, it's still like, tell us a little bit more about your startup. It's a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You guys started not too long ago with this, and then like, how many people are you at now, or like what's happened so far? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And for folks who don't know about Factory, like we started around 3 years ago, and really our we say our mission is to bring autonomy to software engineering, but really concretely, what we are doing is we're building out a platform that allows everyone from startups to large organizations the ability to delegate what we call droids, which are basically these autonomous agents that can do software development. And we provide a bunch of tooling that helps not just use the droid, doesn't just help you use this droid, but it also helps you get your environment and your code base ready for agents. We call it agent readiness. And once you're using agents, we help you measure how effective they were with what we call agent effectiveness tooling. So it's really this sort of like end-to-end suite of tools that lets you understand where are we in our journey towards a fully autonomous product engineering system, and then what are exactly the steps needed to get there.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I guess you mentioned we're about 60 people based in San Francisco. If this is the type of stuff you like working on, we are hiring. It's on our careers page, so please do join.
You guys are expanding, yeah. And so how did this project kind of go from like, hey, we got something cool, to people were actually using it and like wanting to do more with it?
Yeah, missions or factory?
Factory.
Yeah. So, factory was fun. The starting of factory was fun. My co-founder and I met in San Francisco. We went to school together, but we didn't know each other well. Matan, and he and I re-met at a hackathon, and it was really there that we decided we were playing around with a couple of different concepts. I was working at Hugging Face, and I had built this sort of like coding agent loop, basically. We didn't call it that because that's not really, that term agent wasn't really what you used to refer to it. But it was a while loop with LLMs and parsing of code. And we sort of took that and iterated, and ultimately I think we just had such a similar vision of where things were going. From the day we met, it was 7 days later that he dropped out of his PhD. He was doing a PhD in string theory and physics. And I quit my job. I was working at Hugging Face. I guess I already said that. And the two of us started Factory.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right about when I started using it, that was when it was like, you can go a very long time with like a single chat. So if you're ever using Droid, that's the agent that they're using, you can go easily 12 million tokens. People are going 40 million tokens. Someone's going crazy and they've gone 100 million tokens on just a single session, which is absolutely crazy. So, oh, yeah, sorry. I got to go a little bit louder, yeah. And so I probably need to speak like this, yeah. And so you can go a very long time with just a single chat, and the agent tops all the scores like Terminal Bench, and even from their like Opus, they can't even, like with Claude Code can't top Terminal Bench. What's the deal with that? Like, you know.
Yeah, I think that that sort of is one of our claims to fame, is that we've continued to every day there's a new benchmark. So we try to avoid spending too much time like benchmark maxing, but I think that one of the things that we continue to see is that being model agnostic actually is a huge advantage to building a high quality agent harness. And in particular, there's all these parts of the harness that are ultimately made to enable the LLM to do its best job, right? There's a phrase like unhobbling the LLM that is used frequently. And when you're focused on just unhobbling one LLM, then you start to build a harness that's very spiky. It's like good at just like sort of very specific nuances. For example, Claude Code is amazing with Opus. Now the question is can you make an agent harness that's amazing with Opus and also amazing with GPT 5.4 and also amazing with GLM 5? And as you start to do that, you start to actually get a better picture of what problems are inherent to LLMs in general versus what are specific to a model. And that nuance actually lets us make much better agents. And so when you actually use them, you start to see there's all these little things we've done to make the experience better. And so I would say that a lot of people are excited about that model agnostic component. Because everything from cost to governance, like at the end of the day, if your entire company runs on one model provider, you better hope that model provider is always aligned with your company, right? And so I'd like to think that they will be, but you never know.
You never know. But so tell me about another thing too. So you mentioned that you can do different models, and you can also do like open source models, bring your own key. You don't have to, you can use the Droid harness, but run inference locally, like the new Super Nematron thing that came out from NVIDIA?
Yeah, actually, we partnered with them on the launch of that stuff. So
Holy.
NVIDIA is one of a customer of ours and also a great research partner.
Wow.
They, it's so awesome to see them pushing the frontier of open models.
Yeah.
I know that right now Nematron is not. I think it's fair for Jensen, close your ears. But like Nematron is not.
Don't clip this. You guys can't clip this thing. Don't.
It's not necessarily the best model right now, right? But I'll tell you this, they are extremely committed to making the best open source model. And so I'm really excited because right now, like the best models ultimately are, like things like GLM, Kimi K2.5, Minimax. By the way, those guys are great too. Like there's a lot of geopolitics involved and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I'm very pro all AI moving forward.
Right.
Maybe it's a little bit more ideal if there are a broader variety of companies doing that. And so NVIDIA entering into this fray, I think is great. And the cool thing about Droid is that we also support BYOK. So you can actually plug in your own models, your own inference endpoints. I sometimes joke you can run Droid in a submarine, and you can if you had a GPU. So if you had a cluster or a
Just
Mac
get
Mini
a
Ultra,
nuclear fission down there.
exactly. Yeah, you need a little nuclear reactor and a Mac and 2 Mac Studios.
Bro, come on,
that's that's the ideal battle station.
Damn, and get an NVIDIA Spark in there too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can run them, and so missions. Tell me more about, like, I feel like as a company, you're probably always trying to research and try different things. What made you guys pull on this string, which then became missions, which is now this thing that's currently running on all these people's computers right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's one thing I'm proud of about Factory, it is that we've assembled like the greatest team of people in the San Francisco Bay Area, in the world. Well, not yet. There's someone listening to the stream that could be here that should join us, right? There's one of you is a soon to be, maybe more Factory member that's also incredibly talented.
They're hiring.
But I think that we've got this group of people back here that are just so unbelievably like humble, but also extremely competent. And so what we do is we try to give as much ownership as possible to everybody. Like we let people go off into, I sometimes joke, like the Iron Man cave. So one of our engineers, Theo, I think he was on chatting about this earlier.
Yeah.
Theo went into the colloquial Iron Man cave, right?
Wow.
And so he goes in and he basically, I was like, look, just drop all your existing projects. We'll reassign it to other people. Like go work on this thing and make it interesting, right?
Whoa.
And so he, and we sort of do this progressively. Like first build a little thing. It doesn't seem interesting. Okay, go further, right? And everyone at Factory has at some point done something like this, right? They start pulling on a string where they're like, oh, there's something here. Ooh. And we're like, okay, great. Let's just take everything off your plate and let you cook and let's see if it turns into something, right? And so what Theo did was, I think the fundamental insight was that all the existing strategies for multi-agent communication involved either pure parallelization or very complicated like multi-agent like DMs and agent loops and his ask was basically, if we do this serially, but we allow parallelization within individual features that are where it's like more read only, and then we go very heavy on validation. Like focus the whole loop on just validating that the work is correct, then we might be able to extend the length of the problem to something that is, I mean, at this point, I would argue it's semi-unbounded. Like we've run, the most we've run is 16 days.
Jesus.
But I feel like there are actually not a lot of tasks that it makes sense to run for like 20, 30 days straight. Because usually if it takes that long, it means that there's something like fundamentally incorrect about the approach. Mm-hmm. However, I don't think that there's actually like a real limit. It's like there's no real limit to how long a mission could run. So I can imagine that you could run one for 30 days straight if you really wanted to.
Center this div, 30 days.
Exactly. Round every button in this app. Internationalize. Well, actually, for the folks who speak Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, we have got the Droid translated now off of a mission as well. We internationalized Droid recently with a mission. So please let us know how it did if you speak any of those languages.
Oh, that's super cool. Wait, so tell me more about this, because I saw someone post, I think on X, and they were just like, I'm going to create like this crazy ass layer of things. but the assumption was that parallelization was the way to achieve these things. And I think a lot of people are trying to still explore parallel agents. Ralph was kind of like the first, like, hey, let's run them in a loop. Okay, you can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then like shotgun blast, all this stuff. Is I know you guys have bet pretty heavy on missions. Has there been anything else that you're seeing out there? Because I feel like people are trying to make these orchestrators for their open claws, for their other agents and stuff. I feel like there are kind of also overlaps and parallels. So, I mean, what is your guys' thought?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're actually going to be posting a blog post on this quite soon, exploring like the frontiers of multi-agent architectures, because I think we want to share some of these insights with people. I'll give you a sneak peek if you're listening in.
Let's go.
So there's really a couple of different things. You can think of there being like archetype. By the way, this is like, take everything I say with like probably a couple of grains of salt. Like, we're just one team, we're just one group of people. But like, we have a couple of these ideas of, okay, delegation style patterns, right? Where you say one sub agent should be delegated to do a task. You can imagine parallel sub agents is like delegating multiple. They can't communicate with each other, but they sort of go off and do a task and then they come back to the orchestrator. So that's sort of one form factor. Creator verifier, where you have like a creation, like a great example is code review.
Yeah.
When you have one agent create something and then you have another review it. That's a creator verifier where you're sort of creating a context boundary between the two so that the reviewer is not biased by the inputs that the creator chose. So it helps with first principles sort of thinking.
That's fantastic. I like these patterns because I think people are trying to recreate them in their own coding agents.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, and then I feel like everyone comes back to the same thing. Like, hey, I just got this cool new thing. I was like, wait, what is it doing? It's like, wait, you're burning all my tokens.
Yeah, no, I mean, and there's trade-offs to all of them, right? Like creator verifier, delegation. You can have communication, like peer-to-peer communication.
Yeah.
You can have negotiation. You can have broadcast style, like where you have like a bunch of agents all, like Moltbook is a great example of broadcast style agent collaboration. And the blog post will go into more detail, but I think that there's so much to be explored in the design space of agents and communication and simulation of human-like work patterns. And so I think that that's going to be continuously like a very interesting body of work for us at Factory.
Do you feel like that people are successful if they emulate other human patterns? For example, CEOs who are really good at directing other people, do they tend to prompt better and have better results because they're so clear in their communication with these agents? Or what is your kind of...
Yeah, I have a hunch that I think what it is it is your ability to mentally model the system in front of you. Like I don't know if this is the right word, but dare I say it's like empathy almost.
Okay.
Empathy for the AI system, where if you can sort of like, once you start interacting with LLMs and agents, you start to get like almost like a feel for how they interact, right? You're droid whispering, and you're sort of seeing like, oh, this over here. It's going to respond like that versus like that. And once you know that, you start to imagine like, oh, well, I could fix this problem by asking the agent to do it like this, or you start to get better at like prompting. So theory of mind is the correct way to refer to this. And I think that what's interesting is I think that theory of mind implies that the relationship is between two basically like contained systems. Like I have theory of mind when I'm imagining that Ray over here is thinking about me talking right now, which is I definitely think a part of it. But like, what is it when I'm thinking about how everyone in this room is collaborating? Right. To me, this is like an ecosystem, right? It's like it is a grouping of conscious systems that are all interacting. And I think that that's what is sort of one layer above that is making it really hard for us to even like experiment, because there's not a lot of cybernetics has a lot of, I talked about this on the last live stream. Yeah. There's like people who have thought a lot about this stuff, but I don't think that we have really like empirically validated strategies for organization building beyond like companies, basically.
Wow. So I think somebody was also asking, like wanting to go work for you or do different things. So if they're into the weeds, prompting like crazy, trying cool stuff, they should hit you guys up, right? Like,
yeah, no, if you're like, I think like the best ways to hit us up, like, first of all, if you're building cool things, like Twitter, LinkedIn, like find us, like reach out to us, shoot us an email. If and I think that like generally, also if you're how many people are what 817?
Yeah.
Some of you guys probably work at companies that could use our tooling, and so if you want to bring it up to your I'll tell you this right now, this is not a bribe, but if you happen to introduce us to your boss, that's a great way to get unlimited free factory, right? From your company, not from us. That would be a bribe. But
no.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, it did not come from him. It came from me, my live stream.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, also thank you guys for sponsoring the live stream. We're getting people tokens. To get people play.
We love the Ray live stream. That's a bad heart, but
yeah. Because you're holding a mic and everything. And appreciate everyone's patience to get everything rolling. We're trying to make sure that you're a human and you're not an AI trying to take advantage of us. Obviously, we want to get the tokens to the right human beings. We do want you to kick off these missions. It's really epic stuff. I mean, because if you've seen what people are building, we're going to start walking around a little bit, try to see if we can meet some people back there. I think everyone's even building in the back room, right?
Yeah, no, people have filled. This is like, I think some of the well, it's everyone's dispersed, so it's a little hard to tell, but it's definitely there's a ton of people here. And I did see a question about if you are not based in SF. We do have an office in New York and an office in London. And so New York, London, SF are the main ones. New York and London are mainly go-to-market, but honestly, if you're someone who's great, reach out. But all of our engineering and product team is based in SF. So, but we'll fly you out and we'll get you over here.
If anyone in the chat's from New York, should we do a new event in New York? It'd be kind of cool to do kind of this right here in New York. And
that would be epic. We should definitely do that.
I'm down. If you guys are down, I'm down. Let's make this happen because this would be so cool. I mean, builders are everywhere, and San Francisco is crazy because there's so many people just concentrated. I mean, you go to a cafe and you're like, what are you working on? Oh, like this crazy project I'm prompting, whatever. It's like, how long are you doing this? It's like, I just dropped out too. It's like, or people are chasing their dreams. Yeah, it's really real.
And I love that energy about San Francisco, and I can't wait for other cities, other places to be exactly like that. And I think that a huge goal at Factory is we do want to make it easy for anyone in the world to build high quality production software. Like if you have a dream of something that you want built, like you should be able to just speak it into existence. And my hope is that, as look, being 100% real, clearly the best results with our product are like Opus 4.6. If you're impatient, Opus 4.6 fast, and it's really expensive. It is objectively expensive. But if you see where open models are going, think of us as what we're doing is we are trying to subsidize the research of truly democratic AI software systems by selling to amazing enterprises and enabling their business today, so that in the future, what we can do is we can give this capability to as many people as possible. So there's a long con going on, and it's to make this stuff accessible for everybody. So hopefully you support us in that journey.
So what was that decision then when you were doing it? Because I feel like other companies kept their model closed, they kept it proprietary. There are other companies that chose to go their agent route, integrated obviously into an IDE. Any hot takes on like IDEs and like why you guys stayed in the terminal, or like all this other stuff?
Yeah, totally. I think so what's funny is my original hot take was like the IDE is dead. But now that's almost like that's the cold take. So I'm gonna flip it again and say I think that generally I was probably like fairly wrong that the IDE was dead at the time. Well, in fact, definitely I was wrong at the time. I think that IDE is definitely still here. But I do think that the nuance is that we definitely do need to evolve the home of software development, like where you sort of like center your work as a software developer. And I think IDE is kind of just a generic term at the like once you take like an app like our desktop app or the Codex desktop app, you can call it like an ADE or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a totally different application. And so I think that over time, we're going to see us moving towards new applications of software. And that's fine. Like it's a new interface. It's cool. It's interesting. And I do think that people are going to learn it. But I'm also very interested in thinking about how do we visualize the broader system? Because your code reviews that automatically happen in GitHub, that's an agent. that's being orchestrated and working on your code base, but it's not one that you're actively sort of sending off, right? So I think that there's just a bunch of different patterns here that are super interesting to think about.
Cool. Well, I want to give definitely a shout out to my homie here for the super chat. Do you share the agent prompts? I've reversed a bit MITM on how a mission works. If I publish this, I'll meet with your lawyer. I was just curiosity.
No, yeah. So the question is if you publish or reverse engineer our system prompts. No, we'll find your IP and we'll send the FBI on you. Just kidding. I actually,
Let's go.
I'm very pro people exploiting and reverse engineering our system prompts. Like, in fact, I think it's like a great exercise for you guys to go and open Droid. And I'll give you a hint. We do send all of our messages over the air. You can HTTP intercept all of the messages and you can read anything you'd like about the Droid and you can look at our system prompt. I always tell this to people because, look, you can reverse engineer our system prompt all you'd like. I think that our advantage as a business is fundamentally not a single piece of tech or anything we build, but the industrial knowledge of how to do this stuff continuously. And like, what's funny is go do that and you'll find we've changed our system prompt nearly every single day. I mean, the way that we update all this stuff, it's so quick.
All caps.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, first it's all caps, then it's this. But I do think that if you do read the system prompt, you get a lot of intuition about how to best use factory. So I'm like pretty pro, just like don't use it for bad, right? Like as long as you're not using Droid for like exploits or anything else for other people. Because that stuff we actually can see. And so like we have a really, really solid both fraud and like harm detector. And yeah, you won't know that we've caught you in the harm detector until it's too late. So just try to use it for good.
It's a kind of like a honeypot.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny because I saw some really cool stuff at a hackathon, and they actually found that the latest models are really good at creating honeypots for other models.
Yeah.
And so, like, as creative as they are for finding exploits, they're also creative at trapping other models for the same things.
Yeah.
It's like it makes sense because you kind of have to have that knowledge in somewhere latent space, right?
Yeah.
At some layer to get creative and do these funny things.
No, that's super interesting.
Like,
I'd actually not heard that before. That's super cool.
It was such a cool.
Yeah.
And so they were doing evals and they're continually. So like they would create these fake landing pages for like the agents to land.
Yeah.
And like they were like, oh, you got into our system by giving us, like they were trying to extract what they knew.
Yeah.
They're like getting all their secrets.
Well, actually, if on my like personal website, I actually have a honeypot for LLMs on my personal website. So if you access like enoreyes.com with an LLM, I think you'll end up getting like a little fun message.
Let's go.
The more recent models are like slightly hit or miss on sending the message to the user, but yeah.
Nice. That's so awesome, man. Yeah, this prompting stuff is so crazy. I love the chat. Everyone's kind of been going in here. So how many tokens have you burned through to reverse engineer?
Yeah. That's so funny. How many tokens have you burned to reverse engineer? Yeah, you're gonna burn a lot of tokens to reverse engineer. One thing that's cool about Droid is it actually is pretty simple at a high level.
Yeah.
Don't let the simplicity fool you, though. It is. I feel like LLMs are these like surprisingly stable. Agent harnesses are these surprisingly stable equilibriums, but like a little bit, stable enough, but a little gentle push in one direction or the other. Like you would not believe how many bugs we find where it amounts to effectively like a sentence in the prompt, like one little thing that is totally screwing the behavior over. Because models, I think, have this tension where they want to accurately follow instructions as best as possible, but we actually like don't write very clear instructions. In fact, our instructions are usually pretty bad, and so you have to sort of iterate over time by asking the model. Like yesterday, I just asked Droid, I was like, what are we doing? How can we improve your harness to like make it feel better? And it gave me some fun answers. So
that's crazy. Where do you see like the future of these models as they are evolving? I feel like everyone right now is kind of scratching the surface with trying to create their own apps and do a bunch of stuff. And we're still discovering what they can do. Also, there's these claims of people saying, they think the model can think, I don't know. I feel like everyone's kind of thrown all over the place because they don't really know what this technology is going to do for us in the future. But I feel like you guys are really trying to like lock in on, you know, here's a task. Can you add a feature? Can you add it to like your existing app? You know, follow some software best practices. What's keeping you guys like? What's your North Star? I guess I would say, like, you know, it's so easy to get distracted on all these different side projects. And
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this is why our mission is to bring autonomy to software engineering, because we get asked this all the time. Like, do you want to do like X or do you want to do Y?
Yeah.
And it's sort of our perspective that focusing right now on software development is easier to prevent, you know, distraction. And I'm now joined here by Luke and Theo, two of the excellent folks from our team. And I don't know, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Hi. So I came here to ask, like, people in this room were not really aware of the fact that I did the demo initially.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should redo it. And
We totally should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Up on here and just kind of get everyone around and kind of take it over.
I love that. Yeah, here. I'm going to move around. I'm going to give this mic over.
Cool. Yeah. So Luke, tell everyone kind of what you're doing and kind of what you're up to.
Yeah, well, right now, I was just making sure that everyone had the right sort of billing credentials in order to make sure that you all had the max plan. But
Oh yeah. Oh, so you're actually kind of helping get everyone onboarded.
Yeah,
So
getting
if
everyone on-
people are still hitting the token issues and stuff like that, make sure you sign up and fill out that form.
Exactly.
And then you've been kind of getting everyone onboarded.
yeah. But otherwise, it's been really good.
Yeah.
I feel like missions today has been, you know, even better than yesterday. Every single day, we're sort of like hill climbing on the performance, on just the quality add that we can kind of give to engineers.
Yeah.
I personally today am using it for some pretty cool enhancements to the CLI. So we should be seeing those go live relatively soon. But yeah, I mean, it's been a delight to work with this product. So I'm really hyped to be like sharing it with so many people today.
That's cool. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Let you guys kind of chit chat with the screen and kind of distract a little bit.
Sure.
Are we gonna be able to like do a mic or something for this room? People can hear it, or should we just?
Once we get people like over here, then So we'll probably get people.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run up and back the same mission.
Yeah. So which mission did you show before, Theo?
I just did the FL Studio one.
Okay.
I might just do it again.
Yeah.
It's not gonna finish either way. I just want to like.
No, it's a great like, you know, proof of concept like mission that everyone else can sort of like get guided along.
Yeah.
Here, let me also check in with Fran. So I think she's right around here, and we can get other people to sort of like convene around and take a look.
All right. See if I can see the chat or not. What FL Studio mission? If I demoed this earlier on the stream, I might run it back. But basically, I'm running a mission to like create like a clone of like FL Studio's like core functionality, so that I can extend it with my own whatever. But like I'm asking it to clone like all the core stuff and all the UX, you know, shortcuts and everything. 'Cause I'm pretty used to FL Studio.
You're right. Speaker set up.
Hello. Yeah, I can share my screen. Like, there's a link I can use.
Let's get that going, and then we'll get to it all.
All right. Hello. All right. FL2. It says, yeah, yeah, that should be good.
Screen, and then I'm gonna get people to just come over.
Okay, I might need Ray to give me another link.
You know where Ray went? They would rush everything.
So what have you seen people what have you seen people building? Are they using missions? I feel like half the people here are using it.
I know. That's why I wanted to get like another demo going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like, I mean, I've been in other rooms sort of figuring out like the building things.
Yeah. Okay. Test. Okay. Missions are currently only in CLI. We're working on adding it to the web app and desktop app. You don't need to create a plan if you're doing a mission. Just / enter mission to enter, and like the input box should turn green. From that point on, you should just be able to describe what you want to do. You don't have to like toggle anything else. Well, you might want to select the models. If you / enter mission and then / model, you can choose all the models. Exec headless mission. I wouldn't recommend doing exec headless mission because it's going to run for a long time and consume a lot of tokens. So you should probably like do some planning, like back and forth initially to make sure like you set it up properly. How do you influence or see the frameworks used? It's just conversational. Like it should talk about it, or it should like discuss it with you. If you wanted to like use anything in, like specifically, like technologies or you see data sources or whatever, I'm assuming that's what you mean. You can just specify that up front. Like missions ask questions for more detail. They ask questions for more detail. However, if you have something like that you really want to spec out, you can also start with a spec. I think, it's always good to do more planning, especially if it's going to be running for a long time. Recommended models for mission. I like Opus 4.6 Orchestrator, 4.6 Worker, and like GPT. Oh, GPT validation. Hello.
Let's go. Alright, so, yeah, it's this link here. Yeah. So I think it might change patch that I go from this. Let me put my headphones on.
Try speaking this as well as that.
Like,
Just hold up to you just for like quick.
hello.
Yes. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I think flip it and I'll just announce that we're gonna do.
Yeah. Let me
I'll just hang up
turn the volume up.
All right. Hi everyone. I'm Luke. We're just going to be doing a quick demo of missions in case anyone is like unfamiliar with it or is just getting started and wants to learn a little bit more. I'm sure some people have but the mission run right now, so if you already feel quite acquainted, then there's no need to kind of come over here and check this out. But if you are more curious, Theo's going to be doing an overview about all this. Yeah.
Yo. So, yeah, he's going to be doing a quick overview, and we're just going to get this going. Just give it a second.
To change the validator, if you go in the mission control, Control G, and then you press M, you can change the worker and validator models.
Nice.
You can't do missions in web app right now. You have to use the CLI.
Okay, this is better. Can OpenClaw use factory? You can spin up a headless droid, I think, right? You guys don't have ACP, right?
We have I think we have ACP.
Agent client.
I think we implemented it for like Z or something like that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Is someone asking about headless missions?
Yeah, headless missions with OpenClaw too. Yeah. But yeah, you can do headless. It'll just do like.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it because you want to like unless you have a really good spec.
Good point.
Yeah.
With exec, yes. How's the audio, folks? I think it sounds better now. Yo. Cool. I think, yeah. Audio's good? Yeah, cool.
Oh, another link.
Clanker on Clanker. Yo,
if probably say,
SpacetimeDB, just pull up. We have someone in front. I'll approve you right now. Yeah. Yeah, I think we still have capacity, right? Let's see. Spacetime. Check and guess. Oh my god, 1,449. 1,400? What is this? Okay. Okay. And then once you share screen. Awesome.
Oh, a little laggy.
Yeah, that launch video is crazy. How long to do the tokens take? Someone's approving the tokens by hand, and I think Luke was helping, and a bunch of other folks were helping with the automations. Lifetime plus. Oh yeah, so the folks here, I think we'll also announce this too, right? The Mac Mini thing. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's go.
Everyone! If you are the engineer, Mission's going to do a top suit, so you have to gather around this part of the room.
Thank you.
This is how he built the entire feature. That'd be great. Please start making away this way.
Thank you, Shashank.
Yeah. I don't see Spacetime in here, the lists, but just pull up. Say Ray Fernando approves. Mr. Beast, what? It's like a misfit challenge to get the tokens.
I love Mr. Beast.
It kind of is. It's a $200. You gotta go work for it. You're just gonna get this for free? Come on. Let's go. Yeah. So for those who are wondering, I think it's make sure you sign up for the Luma link for the live stream, and then once you do that, fill out the form over here. Then you're gonna get in. Easy. Cool. Let's see what it say.
I'm sharing my
yeah,
screen.
it's literally $200. Yeah, let me share your screen. Okay, cool. You're good. Nice. Yeah.
So should I hold this, talking to it, and should we pass it around maybe?
Oh,
for people to hear. Work.
I think you're good. Where's the mic? Oh, maybe. Hey, John, can you get the speaker and put it behind us so that it doesn't feed back into the mic? Yeah. So just put it right here behind him, or back that way, so that people can hear it. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. What's happening right now is that we're going to get a bunch of folks around, and they actually have not really seen the demo. Maybe you haven't either, of the missions being kicked off. I'm gonna take this. It's hard to hear myself. I keep hearing myself in the echo. That's why it's hard to talk. Okay. Yeah. So for those who are wondering, we're gonna kick off another missions again, or maybe recap where the current mission's at and kind of go over what this looks like. And so we're gonna go basically. Are you gonna start from scratch, or are you gonna?
I'd probably just start from the top.
Okay.
Maybe.
Got it.
Same thing.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So you're gonna start from scratch. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And so he's gonna start from scratch, and we're gonna watch the whole thing here. So everyone that's in the room is going to see what you're seeing, because this is a giant TV that we have up, and we're going to actually kind of show you a little bit of what that looks like. So we're going to basically turn it around and kind of kick it off now.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Hello? Guys, I'm going to be demoing entering a mission, like the planning phase here. Hello?
Yeah, come on this way, guys. Yeah. Okay, go. Cool.
Okay, that's it's hard to type if I'm holding this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, John, can you come on? You can sit over here. You can sit over here and hold it.
Okay.
I got you. Let's go. Cool.
Thank you. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to like step through the process of like entering a mission all the way to the point where like it basically is full autonomous and you don't have to do anything anymore. The mission I want to build is basically a clone of like FL Studio. Actually, I code for now. For those of you who don't know, FL Studio is a DAW, or a digital audio workstation. It's like software in which you can create music. I have a prompt here. I'm just gonna paste in.
Can you increase the Can you like Command Plus
the size
on your terminal? Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe a little more. Sorry.
Is this good?
Yeah, and you can expand it out if you want.
Okay. Okay, I have a prompt here. Paste in. Okay, so basically to start a mission, you see I have Droid here. I basically just started it up. To enter mission mode, you go / enter mission, and your input box will turn green. And as you can see, like above the input box on the right side, we have like 3 models: orchestrator, worker, and validator. These can all be set individually. You can set it by going to /model. For this demo, I'm going to use 4.6 fast for the orchestrator, just so we can like speed through the planning phase. It's really expensive. But you guys have $200 in tokens, so you can use it too.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm pasting this prompt. Okay, so to start off, like it's like a normal session. You just send a message. You can like be like as detailed as you want. You can be kind of vague. If you're vague, the orchestrator should back and forth with you to basically like flesh out any ambiguity and details. Or you can like paste in a spec. Either way, it's gonna like go back and forth. until it understands what you want to build. You can see here, it's starting off by doing some research. In my prompt, so basically I told it like, okay, I want to really have the same shortcuts and like UX and everything as FL Studio, because I'm familiar with those, right? So I linked it like this documentation link, and since I gave it this, it's actually web fetching this, and then it's going to actually spawn sub-agents to like investigate further. So one of the things the orchestrator does is like research, right? So in this case, to actually like flesh out and scope the mission properly, it needs to do some online research. Now this, depending on whatever your mission is, it will be different. If your mission is in an existing code base, like your existing code base, which it can be, this will involve like spawning sub-agents to investigate, right? Like wrap around and like do research within your code base. Okay, so we're just waiting for this. Oh, and this last line here, you can see it's also like getting some information about my system. Ultimately, because it needs to like set up everything, all the dependencies and environment it needs. Okay, we're just waiting a bit right now.
Could you show us about more tasks or what it's generating?
Huh?
Are there any tasks that we can inspect?
I can show the mission control in another mission, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I actually demoed this earlier, so we have this one. This is the mission control. So once your mission actually kicks off and like starts running autonomously, you'll have access to this screen. So I guess I go with features first. I press F, I have a list of features. These are like tasks, basically. Like in the initial like planning phase, the orchestrator will break down like whatever your large like goal is into individual tasks. And how a mission works is that workers will like spawn in a loop and basically one by one like finish the tasks. So this was the breakdown I had last time. And you can see, there's also a milestone for each task. So this is milestone / like actual feature ID. And a milestone is the concept in missions that basically determines, first of all, a milestone is like a logical grouping of features of work. And per milestone, we will inject like validators to basically verify the work done in that milestone. This includes stuff like code review, like procedure review, like reviewing the workers' trajectories to see if there's anything we'd want to update, like any like learnings applicable to future workers we want to persist, as well as user testing. And I'll get more into user testing because it's like a pretty big part of how validation in missions works. But yeah, let's see how this is going. Okay, so it's done its research. Now it's going to ask me some more questions, right? So it's going to try to resolve like ambiguities. Like this is fine. Let's do this. MP3. Okay, so it asked me some questions. Let's see, it might ask me another round of questions, or maybe I'll move on. We'll see. But basically, we're still in the initial planning phase here. I guess meanwhile, I can show like more of this. Another thing you can do is you can like actually go into an individual worker session and like view everything it's doing. See, in this mission, this is the one I kicked off earlier. It's running for like an hour maybe. I already have a few sessions here. You can tab into it, and each worker has a handoff. You press H from here. You have like, this is part of the handoff. We don't render everything. But yeah, when workers are actually running, you can also watch them live from this view.
While it loads, you could also.
Well, actually, it's
it's
yeah,
gone.
it's good. It's
Okay.
good. Okay, so the orchestrator thinks it's like asked me enough questions, it's clarified enough. So now it's proposing the milestones. This is like an explicit step where it breaks, like basically on a very high level, breaks down your project into milestones, and then it's up to you to confirm them. And the significance of milestones here is that, like, if you have more milestones, it's going to create more features. So if you have more milestones, use more tokens, right? Have more features, and generally produce like a more complete result with less gaps. But validation does run per milestone. So sometimes if you don't want validation, you can also put everything in one milestone. I'd say if I really wanted it to do a good job here, I'd probably do more than 5, up to 6. Yeah, but just for this demo, I'm just gonna say yes. Basically, you can iterate here to like say so let's say like I don't think it seems like it's gonna put enough effort into the instruments aspect of it. I can say, can we break down milestone 5 further into multiple milestones, right? Okay. So now that it's confirmed the milestones, the next thing it's gonna do is like investigate infrastructure requirements as well as validation. So validation entails like, first of all, normal testing. There's a unit test, component test, integration, whatever. Those are things implemented by individual workers. And we actually prompt the individual workers to explicitly do test-driven development where they write tests first and then implement. Generally, like missions produce result with like a lot, like good test coverage. That's like one of the principles behind the system. But also, this particular validation dry run is about user testing. So user testing is basically like testing the surface of your software that the user is going to use. So in the case, like let's say I'm building like a chat app, right? In that case, like user testing would involve like the validator agent opening up 2 browsers, right? Creating 2 different accounts. And then messaging, like say, from user A to user B, and then checking to make sure like that message shows up on user B's screen, that there's like the unread badge popping up. So it's very much like testing it as a human would. And like that's really the principle behind it, where the way that people find bugs in software is by using it, right, generally. So it's like a very like efficient way to test like pretty much everything that matters. But I think in this case, okay, so audio validation. So this is kind of something interesting I wanted to point out. User testing, like for a chat app, can just be like browser use, take screenshots, right? But in this case, where I'm building software where the output is very much like audio, like LLMs can't hear, right? They can't actually listen to the output. Screenshots certainly don't capture that. But we can kind of get creative with it, right? Like what we can do here is record, right? Let's say like while the validator agent is interacting with the browser, we're going to record like the audio that comes out of it, and then we have like a audio file, right? A waveform. We can then analyze that waveform to make sure that it looks right. So like similarly, this is still like as close to like how the user experiences as possible. Sometimes it's not completely possible due to like inherent limitations in the models. Yeah, in this case, right, we're gonna do both the browser testing as well as some kind of programmatic analysis of like audio it produces.
Getting the setup is via the command line and not the desktop. Because I think
You're talking about missions in general? Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. To clarify, if you guys want to use missions, it's only available right now in the CLI, not yet available in the web app or the desktop app. And again, to start a mission, you do /enter mission. Yeah, so I'm just gonna approve this. Like, this seems fine. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so we're getting to the point where it's going to propose the mission. So this is like if you've used like our spec mode, right, or like a spec mode. It's like proposing a plan, and once you accept it, then it just gets to doing it. In a mission, though, like the contents are like slightly different. But once it proposes this, if I decide to accept it, it will then just run autonomously until it completes. That could take like days, potentially. You can like interrupt it, stop it, steer it. And there's still some like interesting stuff I want to talk about after I accept this, that just like regarding like how missions works. But yeah, I can go over this proposal, as you can see. Okay, overview. the milestone breakdown that I accepted earlier, like a little more fleshed out. And then some environment information, infra, ports that we can use, services that we're going to run. And then, again, like the testing strategy, right? So we want to do unit tests, integration tests, and then for user testing, we're going to click around, in the app, and we're going to record the audio and analyze that. There's also, there's going to be a section here about validation concurrency. So what this describes is again, validation. This is for user testing validation. This validation happens every milestone. And if we can, we try to parallelize it. For example, right, if we wanted to use browser use to user test the chat app example, we could have a bunch of sub-agents kind of simultaneously using that app, right? Because it's the browser instances themselves are not that heavy. But if depending on what you're working on, sometimes if it's really heavy, you might want to make sure that the concurrency is not too high because it could just exhaust all your resources on your machine. It's just something we have to consider because missions run fully locally. Okay, so non-functional requirements. I'm just going to accept this. So now that I've accepted this, the next step is it's going to create this thing that we call a validation contract. So wait a bit. This step takes a long time because we want to dedicate a lot of compute to getting this right. I think one of the principles behind missions is that we try to plan as thoroughly as possible up front. I think when you're building in a system, you can do that. If you're working in a dynamic environment, you can't necessarily plan everything you're going to do out. But if you're working on building a system, you can. And I think that's something that missions really leverages to maintain that kind of coherence across a really long run, in that on a high level, we've thought the entire thing through already. So I don't know if it's hanging right now, but I can maybe show an example of a validation contract from here, because I ran this mission earlier already. So here's one. Okay, so this is what it's working on creating right now. Basically, you can see it's a markdown file, but it contains a bunch of assertions. There's literally 600 in here. The way we make it so long is by applying a lot of passes to it. Basically, these all describe flows where the user does something and there's some expected result. And these are generally verified by the validator agent manually. So this example, right? We create a normal node and a slide node, and we have what's expected. And ultimately, this validation contract is what gates correctness. So this validation contract defines what correctness means and completeness means for the mission. So it's very important. And this is kind of this type of structure where we enforce validation and review is, I think, really what allows missions to work. Let's see if this is going now. Okay, you can see we're kind of doing divide and conquer here, where we're spawning sub-agents, kind of think about different sections of the app, right? Piano roll, playlist mixer, and they're gonna draft their own assertions. Later we're gonna run an aggregation pass, combine them, do what review passes to find gaps. Yeah, this is something that right now I'm running 4.6 fast, right? It's still gonna take probably 10, 15 minutes. This could take an hour, honestly. But it's very important because let's say you spend an hour doing this planning, but your mission runs for 2 days. It's worth it, right? So, okay, I guess since it's not gonna finish soon, I'm just gonna also go through the features. So after we create the validation contract, the next thing
we should tell people that we're gonna raffle in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. By the way, we're at 7 p.m. We're gonna raffle a Mac Mini and a year of our Max plan as well, the $200 subscription.
For the folks who are checking here. Yeah.
Only for people here in person.
Yes.
Okay, so just one more thing I wanted to go over is this features.json. So this is, as I said, this is the task list that ultimately will get executed by the mission. Like the mechanics of how a mission works is that the runner will go through these features one at a time. The chronology of that is just defined by the ordering inside this document.
Can you increase your font size by like 20 times just so we can kind of get a sense of the granularity of these things? Yeah, just keep it up. Keep cranking. You've seen people like this list, right?
Wait, what do you want? You want this?
Yeah, make it really big so we can kind of get an idea.
Can we all see?
Yeah, if you keep making it bigger. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyway, after we create the validation contract, we create this features list, right? And so each feature is a task and they get executed in order. And I think the thing I want to highlight here is that each feature will have this fulfills field in it. And these are IDs from the validation contract. So basically it's describing that like after you complete this specific feature, these like contract assertions should be fulfilled. So because of this mapping, per milestone at the end when we're doing like the user testing validation, we know which assertions we have to test. This is how we like systematically basically enforce validation. I guess other than that, I can just tap around this mission control view. So again, once this orchestrator finishes, so it looks like it's still creating like artifacts. It's still going to have to create the features. So, but after it creates the features and it launches the mission, you'll be able to press Control G to come in here. Again, you have like this is it shows like the current active feature that's being worked on. You have like a stream of the active worker down here. Actually, let me just run this one because I see it working. So it should resume. Right now, the orchestrator, okay, so it started again. So you can see it running. You can see at the bottom it's streaming. So active feature, we have a features list over here in the top right. And we have an active worker streaming here. If you want to, you can press W to actually drill further in and fully see like the worker session. If you really want to see like more details of what it's doing. So this one's getting resumed because I paused it earlier. It seems like it's taking a little bit to proceed. Okay, also in mission control you can select these workers. So we have two like model settings, worker model and validator model. Worker model is the model that's used the most. It's like the model that actually implements all of the features that are initially created by the orchestrator in the features.json. And then the validator model determines like, because as I said, like per milestone, we inject validation features. And those validation features are executed by the validator model. And I think like, the reason like we have different models for this, and honestly we could even split it more, but right now this is like the split, is that different models are good at different things, right? I think GPT models have always been like the best for kind of scrutinizing, reviewing, like ensuring correctness. But for your worker model, like something like Opus is also very efficient. If you want something cheaper for worker model, you could also pick like one of these open source models. Because the bulk of your tokens are going to be used on workers. So if you're like thinking about price, I think picking these models is really important. We're currently working on benchmarking different model combinations, and we should have some answers to kind of like which combinations are best very soon. But yeah. Yeah, you can skip the scrutiny or user testing. I guess, okay, I didn't really talk through scrutiny. So as I said, like per milestone, we have validation. There is user testing, what is talked about, just like, all the features in this milestone, what assertions we need to test, and then they test them. But scrutiny entails two things. So basically, for each feature, we're gonna run a code review, which is just, like, tell it to review the code against like the feature, see if it implemented everything, are there any bugs. but also a procedure review. And this is kind of like the continual learning aspect of missions, where it does a pass through all like the worker sessions for this milestone and kind of determines whether there's anything that would meaningfully improve like the performance or efficiency of future workers if we recorded it, right? For example, in the worker skill, or like just library, in the shared state in general. I guess I didn't mention, but also like each feature has like an associated skill that the orchestrator also creates. Yeah, I should mention that. Basically, like during the planning, the other thing the orchestrator does is this is another way we enforce structure. It creates like skills, and each feature is like assigned a skill. So the worker executing a specific feature is going to follow that skill. And it will create like one or more of these worker skills. I think in this case, it created doll worker. Maybe it just created this one. Depending on the mission, whether it makes sense to actually like split concerns, it might create more than one. But as you can see, like in this procedure, it just contains like information that's, okay, here's like references, and then like procedure. And I mentioned earlier that, you know, we enforce test-driven development, right? So that's like a principle. Like when the orchestrator creates these skills, if it's applicable, it's always going to enforce writing tests first, then implementing. Yeah, and as I said, like as workers, you know, continue to complete features, if it makes sense to, we might update this skill, right? Let's say, you know, across like a milestone, we saw multiple workers spending like time figuring a specific thing out that's not in the skill, then it probably makes sense to put it in here. But at the same time, like we don't like, you have to be very, like make sure that everything you put in there is very salient and actually useful. I think a mistake that people naturally would make is kind of just trying to like accumulate too much shared context that is not actually that useful. Mac Mini Raffle. Here.
Yes. So who here is excited for winning the Mac Mini? Cool. So yeah, this is a little bit of a break in the show. I appreciate everyone for coming out. I also appreciate Factory for sponsoring this live stream and this kind of whole hangout. They've been able to provide this venue, the food, tokens for you to burn like crazy, and also a chance for the folks here in person to win a Mac Mini. So I have a list of everyone who's here and checked in and attended. And so I think it would be kind of fun if you asked the droid to draw a random number between like 1 and 67. Okay. And so we're going to do two different raffles. One is going to be for the Mac Mini. And so the winner will get one shipped to them wherever you're at, because they're apparently really hard to get right now. There's this thing called OpenClaw, I guess. I don't know, people are just buying these things like crazy. And the other prize is going to be even grander than this. It's probably actually worth more than this, is a year worth of the Pro plan. So $200 a month for 12, obviously, you know, for 12 months, for 1 year. So you get 1 year of the Pro plan for free, for just being here, for showing up, as a thank you for coming out, fighting all the traffic and all the craziness, getting to eat food with us and hanging out and kicking off missions. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if I can get your screen up. So that way you wouldn't, there's no bias, and see if we can generate a random number between 1 and 67.
Do we want 1 or 2?
Or what's that?
1 at a time?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, 1 at a time?
Is it 67?
Yeah, including 1 and 67, yeah. I guess not between, but it would be including. Yeah, inclusive, there you go, perfect. Yeah. And tell me, yeah. So, let's see who this is. It's thinking. We're orchestrating this, right? Tell me, let's go to a plus font, like make it super, super big. God, the suspense is killing me.
Maybe we do a new session.
Yeah, just new session, yeah. Let's go. Okay. So Opus 4.6 fast is going to generate a random number. It's generating Python code. And number 18. So let's see number 18. Let's see if they're actually here. It'd be fun if they actually left and they didn't win a Mac Mini. So the winner of the Mac Mini is going to be number 18, and that is Charmaine Rodriguez. Charmaine Rodriguez, are you in the building? Oh my God, are you serious?
Are we doing them now?
Charmaine Rodriguez missed the Mac Mini, bro. Oh my God, look at the chat is gonna go crazy right now. Look at this. So the chat doesn't know. Basically, the person we called is not in the building right now. This is they missed the chance to win the Mac Mini. They left. They slept on it. Come on, man. Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Yeah, I love this. So yeah, I know, right? Like, would you stick around for a Mac Mini? It's like the hardest thing to get, but even better is the Pro plan. So let's go ahead and see if we can draw another person. I guess we say minus the 18, huh? So that's probably a tough question. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what our next, who our next lucky winner could be for the Mac Mini. Run it back. Let's see. This is Opus 4.6 fast. This is what it feels like. Number 44. Okay, so number 44 is Mario Engel. Mario? No way! Yeah, let's go! All right. Mario, what's going on, man? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. How's it feel to be a winner?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Speech!
I'm burning tokens as we speak.
Yeah.
What
are you building?
To figure out how to make a video, to test the video if it's fake or not. And we found like, I don't know, 50 or 60 points to figure out if it's real or not. And half of them I don't even understand at the moment. But it doesn't matter because the program does it in the moment.
Yeah.
And then we learn to learn why
it is. It's fine. Yeah, you could use both. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So then we have to learn why the whole thing works like it does.
Yes.
And so Droid is cool product. Thank you so much. And I will burn the $200. I promise you that. And after that, I don't know what I'm going to do, but you know, it's not like this project we just started with a new friend over there, Aaron, to really make something out of it. But it was fun to test, and it's really true. It's amazing, you know, what you just can do with a couple of questions.
Wow.
It's not about technology or knowledge. It's about asking and continuing asking, answering a couple of questions, and you get somewhere.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Is it true?
That's true.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Awesome. Very, very cool. That's awesome. That's really, really cool, man. Do you live in the Bay Area or did you? Oh, Malibu?
Yeah.
You flew?
Yeah, just in.
This guy flew from Malibu. Look at this. From Malibu all the way to San Francisco just for this event. That's impressive. That's so. Cheers, man. Cheers. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, they're going to be in contact with you to get you the Mac Mini shipped to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Sweet. Awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, that was a really awesome win. So I would say like the grand prize for our next winner. This is going to be the one for 1 year of a Pro plan. Let's go. Another one. Number 45. Bro. Okay, so who's number 45? Whoever was walking in the door. Let's see. It's going to be Bunny Sat Fang. Yo, let's go. Awesome. Welcome, man. Yo.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm here from Thailand.
Oh, you're here from Thailand?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I'm in Berkeley for like a semester, so I just like join all the events, and yeah, it's good to win a free coding plan.
Wow.
Thank you.
1 year pro, $200
Yeah.
a month. Let's go. What
That's
are you gonna
crazy.
build?
I'm gonna build everything. Now I'm building the life OS. Cause like, yeah, I'm trying to like arrange my life, make it better.
Yeah.
Cause like I have so many coding plan. Like yesterday, I also just bought like the Alibaba coding plan. I'm trying to like maximize my usage of AI.
Yeah.
Thank you for the plan.
That's amazing. Have you tried Opus Fast yet?
No. I don't have that much money.
You gotta do one prompt.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. Cool. That's awesome. This all the way from Thailand. So like a lot of people have come a long distance. I really wasn't expecting it to be like that crazy as far as all the stuff that's been going on, but this stuff is really changing people's lives, and I'm really glad that people are able to kind of come out here. And thank you everyone. Thank you everyone from the live stream as well for joining in on the fun with us. If you haven't had the chance to get those tokens and stuff yet, please make sure you fill out that form right there. It says rfer.me/ray200. Scan that QR code. And those folks are still going through and trying to add you and get those tokens ready and stuff like that. Let's see if there's any more questions. Somebody said 42. It's not 6'7", bro. No, 6'7". Factory Fire. Yeah. And so, yeah, this whole stream was sponsored by Factory. And we appreciate, them providing like the tokens for us to burn, the prizes, and hanging out with everyone. And I mean, getting to meet you guys. So you guys are going to be around, walking around here. People can ask you guys questions. If you're into prompting, figuring out more of how this works behind the scenes, figuring out what the sauce is. I guess if people also want a job at Factory, I mean, they're hiring right here. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you guys have interview questions? What do you guys do? Just like, show me a prompt. How do you center this div? That would be like my question. But yeah, what do you ask?
We do have a round where like you build with AI, like kind of practically. But we also have like a normal interview question too. So yeah, apply.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for obviously showing up and everything. And if you're still building, kind of hang out. We're going to be hanging out here. I'm going to see if I can do an IRL section. So I'll probably be walking around to see hello. If any of you guys want to be on stream, flag me down. I'll be hanging out. My brother's going to be walking around with me. And we're going to show some of the people on the live stream what you guys have been cooking, or what you're doing, or if you're just out here hanging out, what your vibe is like, and want to chat with you some more. And I'm pretty sure the people on the live stream will have lots of questions for you as well. And they're going to be, asking you some cool stuff. So we'll try to see if we can slide them in as well. My mission is this cooking. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So I can dream and code tonight. That's awesome. Sweet. I think I just turn this off there. Okay, cool. Sweet. So we're here. Oh, this is cool with our little light here.
Not really bright.
Awesome. All right. So pray. All right. So I already got my tokens already. Sweet. Awesome. Yay. Thanks for the tokens. Appreciate it. Yay. I use my wife's credit card. No, stop. Oh my God. What's next for Factory? Missions part 2?
Missions and web app.
Missions. Oh yeah, web app. So right now you have basically missions going on in the CLI. So you're going to move that over to the web app so that people can do that there. Yeah. And then I think Eno was talking about this in the last live stream where you'd be able to like rent compute or something somewhere. I don't know. Oh. Or I don't know if you rent compute. I guess you could say it's part of the web app maybe where it runs without your computer being open.
Yeah, we have like a Droid computer stuff where the agent has its own machine. I don't have the most detail on that though.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do you post-process your prompts? I built a mini agent that converts a prompt into a mission prompts with strict DoD. Is this a good practice or is simple is better?
What is DoD?
Cool. The link is not working. So rfer.me/ray200. Let's see. I think it is working, right?
You can't. Don't try to use missions in web app right now. It's just not polished. I'm not sure if it even works.
Oh, we're sorry. The document is not published. So it says the document is not published. I wonder if it closed down.
The definition of done. Can I see that?
Which one?
Guys, the one I was
the DoD?
about, yeah.
Right here?
Using that converts with published mission prompts. I'd say like all the workers are pretty much prompted by the orchestrator. So in that way, like it is the agent writing the prompts. So yeah, I mean, yes, I guess.
Let's see. I think it's gonna get too. $100. They ran out of tokens. Time to raise another round. Did we give out all the tokens?
Did we? Yeah. So
It's currently on Townsend Street, 410. Yeah, pull up. How long till the tokens are out? Been over 50 minutes.
You want to come answer questions?
Yeah, it says documents are not public. Yeah.
You want to come answer questions?
Yeah. Very cool. Cool. Yeah, so what do you work on, man?
What's up, chat?
What's going on, man? Yo,
Doing well?
It's going crazy right now. Thank you guys. Check your factory account if you don't see it. Yeah. So I think there's some people are having some trouble. It says like the link that we were given for the Google Doc, like my rfer.me, I think it's currently down. I don't know if someone's looking into it, but I'm gonna go ahead and send someone else. It says form is down.
This is billing related stuff?
Billing related stuff? Yeah, I think this is the form, right? They're submitting to get the tokens. We added most people.
Yeah.
Did you add me?
Yeah.
I think you have infinite credits, Theo.
Okay.
Theo, towards the end of developing missions, was running everything in OpenSpace.
Really? Oh yeah, you can put the mic. Yeah, go ahead.
And I saw
Oh,
that
you
thing
can just flip.
limit,
Yeah.
I went to the and it's page.
Yeah.
I saw how big my bar was. It's like your tokens, the rest of the board.
Yeah.
Like half.
Theo was burning like 5 times as many tokens as everyone else.
Wait, so you're saying that you like in order for you to ship your feature, you're just like, oh snap, the deadline's coming soon, so just opus fast. I think you guys get like infinite credits, right?
Effectively.
Yeah.
You know we'll stop you at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was more that I wanted to get more iterations in because it was approaching launch. I just want to for the sake of for the sake of progress, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So what do you work on?
I work on the CLI.
CLI.
It's been a team of me and 3 other people that have built that out over the past 5-ish months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's been a
How
good
long have you
ride.
been at Droid? Or
It's
at Factory?
been a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, August of 2024.
Dang. So that's like 10 years in AI, bro.
It's been an insane year. Yeah. I keep thinking about the fact that like agents were basically not feasible till like about a year ago.
That's great. Actually, very
And
true.
ChatGPT is 3 years old. Like that feels.
Dang.
The timelines are insane. Yeah.
Yeah, like handcrafting prompts.
Yeah.
Like the way I'm having to handcraft code. You know, like
Exactly. We
it
would
would
do
be
like
ancient history, bro. Like
yeah. Our initial product was just you'd go back and forth with like a single prompt.
yeah.
And there was no turns. There was no tool calling.
Oh, tool calling. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about. Was Goose a later thing? Like when did that integration happen?
Goose was being built at around the same time like when I joined, which is like August of the late 2024.
Wow.
But tool calling was extremely unreliable.
I see.
Like the models were really bad. They would fail turns, and like you would get like 3 or 4 turns, and then the loop would just stop.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know if you remember Baby AGI. Back when.
Was that lovable or
No. It was like a open source project.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically just loops around prompts.
Really?
Where like you would just get back the result and like pass it back into the thing.
Oh.
And that was like the first version of an agent.
Okay.
That was like 2-ish years old.
And then context windows at that time were maybe 100 and
they were smaller.
like 64K.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dang.
Like, were they like 16K?
32 and
They were tiny for a while, and then yeah.
dang. Yeah, so that we forget like context windows start out like 32K, 16.
Insane. Yeah.
Wait, so wasn't GPT 3.5 like there was a 64K context window you could pay, but it was like super premium, right?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, it's
The first like coding model that felt like magic was like 3.5. Sonnet 3.5.
3.5 turbo or 3.5.
Just 3.5. Yeah.
And
Where
were you
everything's
doing a lot of
finally
Python
started
back then?
working.
Or
Huh?
just, what were you doing like coding wise?
Back then I was working on our RAG pipelines and context and all these things.
I was working on our code review bot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we had a bot called Review Droid that just runs. It's like whatever, and what Anthropic is shipping for
That was code review.
$25 per PR.
Yeah. Yeah. When Factory started out, we had like 6 different bots, or like 6 different droids. That was the initial naming too, but it was like droids that were specialized on different like product areas. So it was like product droid to work on documents and review droid to work on reviews. Yeah.
I kind of remember this now. And then that evolved to the CLI. And I think there was also a lot of work that you did on like running longer sessions that like no one really caught on until like 8 months later. I feel like, or 6 months later. What was the discovery behind that? Was there like another paper you read about long context or something? Like,
I'd say it's very much like the practical design, I guess, for compaction, where I mean, there's two aspects of it. The first one's the prompting. So the prompting is like, what do we want to keep, right?
Yeah.
And for that, it's really just a question of like, you know, the agent's gonna lose some of its old like history. If we want the session to continue like coherently and successfully, what should we keep, right? So user, like in an interactive session, like user messages is definitely extremely important. Like everything the user says needs to be preserved.
Wow.
And there's like file paths, right? Like important decisions made. So it's the prompting aspect is very much just like enumerating kind of format for like what do we think we should keep. And then there's the aspect of kind of like incrementally updating this summary as the session goes on to kind of so it doesn't have to process too much at once.
So what kind of thing that you were talking about with context windows being too small, like with the way he developed compaction for coding specifically, you kind of have effectively an infinite context window where I don't know if you've used Cloud Code versus Factory for like super long sessions.
for sure.
Factory maintains context on the relevant pieces like way longer than
I mean, I've been able to go like hundreds of chats.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And I even like run MCPs that like fill the context window, you know, like Exa and like all these other like tools and stuff. But anytime I need to go back to something where like, oh, by the way, we're fixing the bug over here, it seems like always get it right back to where it's, I mean, it just feels so fluid. It's beautiful. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, yeah. And, like I was still blown away. Like there's no one for a long ass time. You know, even like the more recent Claude compaction stuff, it was just kind of, it's like, okay, finally someone's trying to do it, but it wasn't really as the same. Like it still felt like it lost a lot of stuff in between. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like the difference is primarily just in the prompting. And the prompt isn't even that big.
That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. Yeah. So as far as the CLI, when people started, did you start discovering that the CLI was going to be an interesting way for these language models to respond back? Or like,
Yeah, I think we were primarily developing in like a web platform, which required a lot of finagling to get people to sync their files between their file system and this like web version.
I see.
And we just found that the CLI was sort of a UI that just resonated with people really well. I think the fact that it's like directly placed in your file environment just means that you don't need to build anything on top to get it to work. It's like very simple. It works wherever you are.
Yeah.
And so that's why we sort of built it out on top of our existing agent loop, which is already like, we were number one on software, like SweetBench back in the day.
Yeah.
So we knew that our agent loop was already significantly better than the other competitors. So we just had to bring it to the sort of environment where people actually would like using it. And then I think since then, it's kind of caught on fire, the product. Yeah.
So how do you think about like language models, especially with this new mission stuff? Because like with missions now, you're thinking about them in terms of teams of models working together. And I think people have been familiar with that concept, but I feel like this product is actually kind of one of the few that's tying them together cohesively and with lots of details. And I was guilty. I was like, Opus is good at generating stuff, but it's so lazy. But it's not really lazy if you know how to really steer the model and output the things and then keep following it up and like just spend so much attention to detail. But then like other things come out that are just kind of like spammy or just like, let's just throw everything at it. Like let's burn all the tokens and see
For sure,
what
like
happens.
Gastown, I think the way it's implemented is extremely spammy, like you're describing, where I think it feels like a schizophrenic like experiment. But I think it works well, like based on the current state of the models. But I think Mission's just like a much cleaner approach to actually solving those things. And I think eventually like, both of these approaches will probably get post-trained into the models and they'll be good at all of them. But I think we're just like trying to work with the state of the models as they currently exist.
Interesting.
I think in general, the team here has like such a good intuition on what the models will be good at and what they would suck at. And so I think just have to like build around what we think it'll be good at, and yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like as models get better, I think certain things they're weak at, they're still weak at. It's like they get better at them marginally, but there are certain things that they're weak at. There's certain things that they're really strong at. And I think missions just it just takes a more disciplined approach to kind of like, I guess, just building something that actually works and is efficient right now. Yeah. The initial name for missions was Colossus.
Colossus.
That was the name of the, like, when we were still prototyping it, it was called Colossus. Yeah, AGI mode.
I hate it as a name.
Yeah.
You said all missions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, send droid on missions, and then it kind of goes discover things. And I think it's a perfect explanation word-wise, like, on a mission, because in essence, you don't really control them after that. Like, I don't prompt them anymore. Talk a little bit more about where people think this is going as far as technology, because maybe people are getting a little bit scared. They're like, oh snap, my job is actually gone. Maybe, or is it not? Is it just now going to enable something different,
Yeah, I think current state of the models, at least, like the way I've been using them has been primarily to prototype in my day-to-day job. I think I've been able to build things, massive features that first I just need to like see a prototype of it working to understand how people would actually end up using this product.
Yeah.
And then you rebuild it from scratch using missions or like just raw droid. But you just need to kind of see things for the first time, like see an MVP, just to understand how people actually interact with it. I think that's been like the primary use case I've been seeing within a lot of enterprises. I think people just need to see things working to understand if that's actually even possible. I think another common use case I've used it for is like, there's a lot of things with the way we're testing the CLI where I've sent missions on things that I didn't know were actually possible or not. And like, some of them have failed because the thing I was trying to do was just not possible. But I think the fact that it can prove out with like pretty high certainty that this thing's actually possible or not is kind of incredible. I think it allows you to figure out what you need to build and how to build it and what it needs to look like. And I think if you have good product sense and design sense, I think you can build really great products with that sort of like ideation phase.
Yeah, I'd say like the shift, at least right now, when you have like these tools that can build like run like a long time on their own autonomously. But you have to spec it out initially, right? So I feel like you kind of need to be good at the iteration like loop is like bigger, right? So you like make more decisions. It runs for like a long time. You make more decisions. So you kind of have to be able to think a little more broadly about like a larger, like kind of design things out like in larger pieces. I think as stuff like missions becomes more and more popular, like becomes the way to build, like tickets that people will have, right, are not going to be as small as they are now, right? People will own like larger pieces of things because you'll just be able to reliably build like larger pieces.
That's interesting.
I think another interesting idea is like the idea of a mission that just lives forever. Like the way it manages context over time with the way features are developed, you can essentially keep adding features over time. So you can imagine like you have a backlog of linear tickets and they keep coming in. You can keep adding them as features to a single mission that just understands your code base really, really well.
Yeah.
And solve a lot of the menial tasks in software development. Like no one wants to solve bugs. No one wants to like spend time solving bugs. And so I think if you can have this thing that just runs forever to actually solve the menial tasks while you can work on the cool product stuff and like send your own missions to build out the MVPs I was talking about, I think it just makes the work more engaging in a lot of ways. Like
connecting more with family.
Exactly.
Like going to the beach.
Sure. Yeah.
Touch grass. Go outside. Like meet with friends.
For sure.
Party right now.
He's CEO of touching grass, dude.
CEO of what?
We have this joke where every Friday I say, let's go touch grass, and we all go on a coffee walk.
Oh, nice.
To a cafe nearby.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come hang out factory, folks. This is really cool. Well, I want to see if I can get my brother to see if we can kind of walk around and talk to some other folks, because it'd be really cool to see what people are doing, For sure. I think everyone's kind of talking right now. Their missions are running. And I think someone in the chat says that they had theirs kick off like 30 minutes ago, and their mission is still running, I think. That's or 45 minutes ago. That's crazy. Wow. That's amazing.
Tell me when my phone was.
Yeah, let's see. CLI just works. Yeah. I think somebody, I couldn't find them. Yeah, that's how many people have commented. There was like at live was like 1,500 at one point. Right now it's like 1,100 something. Yeah, 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 yeah. And these are all like the comments right now. Like they're streaming like crazy. Is there a working link yet? I don't know. Let me see. Should be working now. Okay, so I got news that it's working now. So if you click the link, apparently it's working now. Let me just try it real quick. So update. If you're trying to get some tokens, you should be able to get some tokens right now. Yep, it's working now. I got it. It's working now. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the link is working now. So big shout outs to Christina. Thank you so much. She's actually been behind the scenes at Factory, making sure that you guys were taken care of. So for those folks who missed it, the link is working now. So if you click this link, now you should be able to put your stuff in there and get your tokens. So too bad for the folks who left. They're sleeping on $200 worth of compute. You know how many Opus fast requests you can get that?
Like 50.
It's like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, bro. Okay. It's not like going to a strip club. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, you know how amazing with like, okay, so $200, how far can that really take you with a mission or two? Like feature wise, or like, what do you think?
200?
Yeah.
What do you?
You can make it pretty sure. I think like you can probably get like 4 very large missions.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like very large missions. I think with the standard of Opus and 5.4. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, said this on the live stream last week. You're like 600 keystrokes away from possibly something that can change your life. And I think go try $200. If
You
you're
can build
leaving a
4
stream,
entire SaaS products by yourself.
you can 4 MVP, like not MVPs, beyond MVPs, you have SaaS products like auth, login, database, everything.
If you use open source models, the workers, you can do a lot, honestly.
So open source will take care of like 80% of the token cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to Opus, I think it's like 10 times cheaper essentially. Yeah. 0.2 versus 2. Yeah.
Still be Opus, but then the workers can be K2 or Minimax.
Yeah. We're working on benchmarking to basically determine which like cheap combinations work the best. Because the workers like their work is like very well defined, so you don't, depending on the mission, they don't need to be like as smart as Opus.
Yeah, because Droid also, our factory Droid actually has the models hosted, and they don't charge you the same price that you would as if you were like the other top tier models, right? So like a 12th the cost, a 5th the cost,
exactly, yeah,
or a quarter of the cost, depending on the model you choose.
And I mean, like even GPT 5.3 is a third of the price of Opus, and so Opus models are like even cheaper than
Yeah, so there you go. Like for the same dollar, you're getting more from it. But at the same time, like, and also the hosting provider for the open models are hosted on Fireworks, right?
Yeah, we have a couple different providers.
Yeah, so that's like a North American container. If you're worried about where the weights are hosted and so forth, these people aren't really after to like, just go check it out.
Yeah.
$200 can change your life overnight.
It could.
Yeah, and it's
you
like
could build your own Claude bot and get acquired by OpenAI.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it could be the next, like, I don't know, fart app or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the link. It's currently live now. Thanks to the folks here at Factory. They got it working. So make sure you fill this out. You're gonna get your $200 of tokens, and you've been saying it this far in the stream. If you have been trying to get this game going, go sign up right now, and then you gotta smash that thumbs up. See, like the folks have been listening, and I'm gonna see if I can get my brother to get the phone call going to see if we can get the IRL stream stuff going as well.
Thank you guys so much.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. Oh yeah. See you guys in the hood. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah. So we're gonna try to see if we can kind of get up and walking and see if we can kind of do some IRL stuff. Because I want to walk around. Hey, how's it going, man? Sure. We're gonna go walk around, but yeah. You want to say hello? Yeah. Say hello. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Say hello. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
All right. Hi, my name's Yoshi. My real name's Ayush, but I go by Yoshi.
Let's go. Yeah, you're live, man.
Awesome. So I work in product and sales.
Okay, cool.
But I've been really enjoying using Claude Code and some other stuff, and I'm really curious to see how you guys, because I talked to somebody and they said that you guys you call the other models too, right? So I'm not limited to Opus anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can use any model. You can use GPT. You can use open source ones. You can
Solid.
And so in one session, you can just, prompt it like you do like normally with Claude Code or Codex or whatever. But if you want to run a mission, you can then select different models too. And we're talking about the orchestrator model, which is going to be the one that's going to hand off these tasks. So think of that as like your big brain. And then the other ones that do the other tasks are kind of like your workers. And so those can be the GPT models, which are very cost effective too. But it can even be like an open source one, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. What are you going to build now?
Yeah. So
what's cooking?
Yeah.
Let's go chat. Let's see what people are saying. Where's the link to the credits? The links to the credits are right here. Bro, get on that.
On there? Okay, solid. That was kind of my question, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. No, you guys are building a really cool product. This is it's fascinating stuff. And frankly speaking, as a product guy, I love having kind of an eye for design. So I loved your website, and like you guys do a great job of presenting. So if I can put it this way, yeah.
Yeah, I think Cal, if you've seen him here, he's one of the designers. I was
Is
going
that
to.
him?
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah. I spoke with him earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, and then like the branding is always awesome. Like even in the terminal and how it shows up in the animation.
Yeah, solid. I'm really excited to try the tokens. Unfortunately, I was caught up with some work, so I was only able to come in like maybe 20 minutes ago.
This guy's excited about you, Kungs.
Yoshi, my boy.
Yo, what's going
Chungus, my boy. if I
Chungus,
can-
yeah. Let's go. Cool.
Yeah. Well, cool, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, get those tokens. and,
Absolutely,
I'm gonna see
absolutely.
if I can go ahead and walk around. But
Yeah, sure.
Nice to meet you. Yoshi.
Very nice to meet you. Take
Cool.
care. Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, let's see if I can get my brother up in here too. Put this here. All right, let's see if I can get this stuff. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if I can do like a little bit of show and tell. I'm gonna walk around here and we're gonna see the buzz of what's going on. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see. Interview. Okay. So let's see. Okay, you should call down. Yeah, you're gonna. Okay. Oops. Okay. Um, Yo, this is crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, if you want to put this on your. Cool. This is really fun. All right.
This is really fun.
So, let's see. Kind of some here. Okay. Cool.
Is that good? Can we,
So yeah,
can we hear it?
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we can hear you. We can hear you in the chat.
Sweet.
So, who are you? This is the man, the myth, legend, SpacetimeDB.
I do have the show.
You have like one of the most famous like launch videos right now.
Yes, well, we try to make a splash, and I think we were pretty successful at that one. So just, I guess, quick background.
Yeah.
I'm a founder of Clockwork Labs. We're developing a product called SpacetimeDB. It is a real-time backend. You upload the logic of your application inside the database, and then it executes in a transactional context and streams all the results down to your clients.
Super fast, right?
Yeah, it's very fast. That's its claim to its fame.
Yeah.
Yes, and we also support a bunch of different languages like Rust, C#, C++, and TypeScript.
Whoa, it's C++ as well. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
can make like an iOS app or a game and.
Yes, in fact, we're going to be adding Swift and Kotlin support as well. And
Let's
Go.
go.
Go's coming.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can have your games working in real time. And for those who weren't familiar, basically I built a game out 12 days before Christmas. And somebody on the stream said, hey, you should use SpacetimeDB. I was like, what's this? And I was like, hey, this looks pretty cool, real time. And then I just threw a bunch of agents at it and it figured it out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of impressive. If you can throw some AI agents and it can hook it up together, I mean, that already tells you a lot about what's written in your documentation, the tooling, you know, the errors that come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything that scaffolds all up to the front end to actually pull out that information.
Exactly, and we developed this for our own game, which is called Bitcraft Online. So that's available on Steam if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
But Bitcraft is an MMORPG, all the players in a single world, and we developed SpacetimeDB to make it simpler for us to develop. But it actually turns out it's very valuable beyond just our own game. But everything inside of Bitcraft runs on top of SpacetimeDB. So, you know, all the real-time movement for the players, all of the trading, the enemy AIs, everything, the chat messages, the whole 9 yards, it's all running on SpacetimeDB. So it's pretty fun.
So somebody is talking about, like, you know, MCP skills, adoption, and like LLMs building on top of Spacetime.
Yeah.
You showed me some apps where some of that stuff is also happening.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so we actually already added skills. I think, you know, I didn't add the actual PR, but I took a look at it, and so you can just pull them down. You can install, what is it? It's NPX skills, right? And I guess, yeah, you can just install the skills. We have them for different languages, so you can pick whichever language makes the most sense for you.
That's amazing. Oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, the reason that LLMs perform very, very well on top of SpacetimeDB, we've done a benchmark where we take like an app like Discord, and we list out like 50 features.
Yeah.
And then we have it try to build that app with those 50 features without SpacetimeDB and with SpacetimeDB, and you get like a 25% uplift on the feature success rate. And we think the reason is because you just use so many fewer tokens.
Wow.
You get the same thing done.
That's amazing.
Because you kind of have your schema and all your types defined in just one place, and then all the real time's done for you. So it's a powerful tool.
So how should people think about designing things? Because I think many people are coming in from different angles where they're not used to, like, maybe they're new to the engineering pieces of it. And what are some of the challenges and why people have never done this real-time stuff before? And then, because sometimes, like, when you adopt something, it's so easy. You're like, yeah, that's right. I just made real-time in, like, you know, a week. And I mean, people spend years making these things. So it's like,
I mean,
what is it they're taking for granted in some ways, you know?
For sure. So, okay, we started in 2019 originally, building this, the game, and then also this as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And the key to the performance is really just grinding our faces against it. I remember, for example, sometime in probably 2020, we switched from what we called JankTimeDB, which was like a janky internal version, to SpacetimeDB, which was the sort of the proper version, but we could only get like one player in, and it took like a minute to load the world.
Whoa.
And so what you have to do is you just have to start optimizing, and that's really getting things out of the way of the CPU and making sure everything is in L1 cache and it's super optimized to be executed within the context of the database.
I see.
And then for the query engine, you also have to do all the query optimization. So in the case of SpacetimeDB, the way that your clients get data from the server is you write a query, some kind. It can be SQL. We have a typed query builder as well. And then we take the derivative of that query, we send you the results, and then we send you the results anytime they change.
Wow.
And so doing all that optimization to make sure that that is fast is also quite a big component of what we've done.
And so that's usually what you would have to spend a lot of time with if this wasn't there, to write your own version of that, diffing and making sure they're in sync. And then if you have one client connecting to another one and there's some latency in between, like, there's a lot of edge cases that start to appear super quickly as you just start testing this. And then if you have like something that's trying to keep track of the game as far as like where everything's at some point in time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's really the very difficult part. It's kind of like if you asked your LLM, hey, first make me a programming language and then write my app in that programming language. Like, let's skip that whole part. Let's just get right to the building. Right. So that's the whole.
That's cool, man.
The idea.
So yeah, what brings you to town?
Yeah, I'm in town. We got some interest from the 2.0 keynote, as you can imagine. So I thought I'd pop in, say hello to some people. GDC is happening as well.
That's awesome.
So I'm here to see a lot of people. And then the Factory AI event looks amazing.
Yeah.
This is a great product. Looks like a really, really awesome.
It's crazy.
Thing.
These guys are like super humble, and they spend a lot of time prompting in the cave.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think that you kind of have to be really dedicated to your craft. And I think that's what I appreciate with these products and people who show up. And even people who are showing up on stream, like you have a passion for this. I think you're meant to build if you're watching this right now. The reason you're here is because you really want to try this technology, be in the cutting edge. And what a better time to be? Like, we can be here live talking about this. You know?
Absolutely. I think with the new agent tools, it's like just an incredible set of opportunities is opening up.
Yeah.
And I think it scales all the way from new programmers to like the stuff that we're working on. I'll give you an example. So one thing is we support the Postgres wire protocol. And that basically means that you can take a Postgres client and point it at SpacetimeDB and it looks just like Postgres.
That's crazy.
However, Postgres has like this enormous tail of arbitrarily bizarre features. So we only support a basic set of them. But I have a plan to just take like, I don't know, $10,000 of tokens and just shove it into a giant Postgres test suite. See if we can get to 100% compatibility.
That's great. I know some folks here who would be love to like just dump some tokens on it.
I look forward to working with them.
Speaking of dumping of tokens, if you haven't signed up yet, Factory AI has sponsored this whole live stream, and this link is now active again. So if you were trying earlier and you missed out, tell your friends to come back and try this link because it's now active. Fill that out, and they're going to go ahead and get you those 200 tokens. So we have some folks who are currently monitoring the stream, making sure that everything's okay. Let us know how everything is going. Christine and Coraline are favorite lines. Okay, cool.
What a great time to be building.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Closing the.
Oh, you're closing the
link.
They're closing the link right now. Oh, too late. Like in 1 minute.
I gotta get my tokens.
Oh, because you got to go home.
So yeah, just probably a good idea to like look to close like the QR.
Okay, got it.
Have it link anymore. Again, like folks who are frustrated.
Okay, cool. So like it's already done?
Sorry?
It's already done? Let's see. RIP the link. Oh, it's done. No longer accepting responses. Okay, GG. GG, folks. The link is now closed. So yeah.
Yeah. What are you most excited to be building
right now?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm really curious about like first like agents running stuff, but then there's a lot of work around like managing like healthcare, family, and friends, and so I'm having to like switch my mind so much between like health, a friend that I'm trying to manage their stuff with, my own things, taxes, and like it's really funny. I focused a lot on like at my early days at Apple and stuff is like around software quality and really thinking through all these intimate details of product. And then once you think through them, you'd have to like build all the machines and build like labs of stuff. Like literally, I mean, you've seen this before where we have like these baker's racks of all these machines of every single type.
Oh yeah.
Because a bug can happen in one specific architecture type once out of 1,000, and it can bite your ass so hard for billions of updates.
For sure. We used to have 200 machines in the lab that we did the testing in, and you could just say, you type say on the command line, they'd all talk. So you'd say, like open the pod bay doors, and all the computers would say that simultaneously. Very eerie, very weird.
And so I see this like coming around the corner with these agents, and the fact that like you can just give them instructions and they'll kind of figure it out.
Right.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Right.
And they're doing it more often than not, like successfully through every iteration, through tooling changes, through all these things, is very promising because once you've sat down to think through all those like attention to detail of those little things that you do need to make sure have to be tested, then you can just say, go. Like, put the compute behind it and just let it run.
You really can. The more you can get out of its way, the better.
Yeah.
It's really, really clever. I get a lot of value, honestly, not using them for programming.
Yeah.
I get a lot of value for saying, like, hey, explore my code base, and then I want to write a design document. And, like, let's kind of work through this. I think that's a very fun one and
that's
gets you a lot further.
I think that's what's been really fun, especially about the game thing, because I've always wanted to build a game.
Right.
And that was kind of my interest in, like, wait, I saw someone build a soccer game, like a little hockey puck soccer game. I was like, can I actually do it for real? Because I've always wanted to play with my friends online,
Yeah.
But you really couldn't back in the day because, Nintendo, right? Like, and so I was like, well, how good are these models? And that was kind of like the litmus test. Can I like hug my way through it? And I think I was using, I started off with Codex at the very beginning, or GPT 5.2, and then kind of evolved and like brought every freaking language model that I felt it could.
Yeah.
But that was like the sign of like, okay, these models are actually taking a turn.
Yeah, and there's sort of a phase transition where it's like they're cool, but they can't do anything to like. Okay, well, actually, they can do quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I know it's really exciting to see where they're going to go.
And I think what I was also blown away with SpaceTime was that just ease of use of that whole platform.
Yeah.
To kind of make that happen really fast. It's like
That's what we work in. What's interesting too is like the same things that make it easy for a human to use make it easy for an agent to use. It's not like we knew this was coming, right? It's really just that like having the single functions which are transactional, you can just reason about what's happening in that one function and not have to care about anything. Or you have all your types in one area in your code base.
If you guys want, we should play a game. The game that I built. It's called YeeBall.com. Why don't we
do
just
it.
play it right now? I was just thinking about this.
Game.
Yeah. If I could. Make a game. Yeah.
We could, probably. I made multiplayer Flappy Bird with a single prompt yesterday. Like,
are you serious?
Because one of the startups I know actually has the rights to Flappy Bird, so they're going to make Flappy Bird on SpacetimeDB, and I was like, let's try it, and it just works.
Let's go! Oh my god, bro! That's on like iOS or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh, Christina is like it looks like she's got everyone in the chat right now. A lot of people have been able to get in, so cool, awesome, yay! Let's go ahead and see if I can do a screen share, and then let's go ahead and see if I can get this up. So if I go to
let me pull up my laptop.
Yeah, YeeBall.com. So that'd be kind of fun. So this whole thing, this is the game that I built on SpaceTime. And all we have to do is basically just go here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start a match. I'm gonna go ahead and create a match here.
Let me jump into it.
And my name is Ray. And so all you have to do is scan this QR code on the
YeeBall
screen. Yeah. And so I'm gonna play it on my phone too. So it works on mobile. It works on everything. So yeah. So here I am with my phone, and this is real time, by the way. Whoops. What's going on? Yeah. Cool. So Ray,
go over my mobile network. See how this goes.
Yeah, I'm ready. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and start getting in the chat, and then you can change your name up here. So you can just change whatever your name is up here. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if I can start get some folks to play, and then you can mark yourself as ready. And so yeah, we'll wait for some more folks to show up, so we can actually play live. I mean, why not, right? Like,
why not?
This is so cool. It's so fun.
I'm on Anthropic.
Okay, cool. So if I can do camera B. Okay, perfect. This is fun. All right, cool. So yeah, we got Codex, we got Eric, we got a couple more folks, we got Kungs. Let's see, we got waiting. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can kick off the match. Start the match. All right, let's go. So I basically have it on my phone too. So this is us playing on the phone. Let's go.
All right, here we are.
Yeah. So
hell yes.
This is me. Yeah, like I could.
I'm player. I should have named myself.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh my god. Let's go.
No.
Oh, this is chaos. Oh my god. Yes. This is all.
Oh, hell no. Oh.
Yes. I go.
That's amazing. That is actually incredible.
Let's go. Yeah. So you can hit shift to pass, and then if you don't have the ball, sprint. Yeah.
Oh shit, it's sprint.
Yeah. And then you do get tired too. So we made this like my whole live stream was like where they were telling me features in the chat like live. This is straight chaos right now.
This is.
Let's go. Boom.
Oh baby, no.
Big koi, come on. Hey. No. This is nuts.
Ah. Wow.
Let's go. Oh. Let's go, Codex. Come on. I got this.
This is a problem. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's. Oh. This is too funny.
Come on, guys. Red team, let's go.
Let's go. This is madness. Straight madness. Let's go.
No. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
I got it. Oh, shift is pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then spacebar is, Oh.
Oh.
Let's go.
All right.
My guy. I should probably leave the game on
10
my
seconds.
phone. Nice.
Now, is this hosted on main cloud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh my God, it's 2-2. First half. Let's go. This is so
Yeah.
it's crazy, right? Like
Yeah, that's
and I
a
also
great game.
I sent a mission and it did a 2.0 upgrade for me
Oh, did it really?
in one shot. Yeah. So I didn't have to do anything. I just said
Brave new
upgrade-
world.
I just did Droid mission. I said upgrade this to 2.0. Here's the docs. Go.
You just went.
It just did the whole thing. What's cool is it added tests to everything.
Yeah.
That was like my best part. It's like so now I can add more features faster, and I'll be pretty confident that it's not going to break a lot of stuff.
Do you have any other games in mind that you're cooking on in your head?
I have like a hexagon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no. It's kind of funny. It's like a cross between what do you call this?
I actually screwed our team over there.
Yeah, it's like what's that game that kind of moves back and forth and you bounce the ball up and then it hits a brick.
Oh yeah. All I can think of is Pong, but it's not. It's the
Breakout.
Breakout.
Yeah, so it's like a hexagon breakout multiplayer.
Okay.
So like it's just chaos.
That'll be real chaos. For
Yeah,
sure.
so you'll have these items and then like you can power up as it's moving across. So like you can blast the ball up higher if you want it to, or because you're really just trying to score on other people's thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like at first it'll just be like 6 little pongs kind of going back and forth. So everyone's gonna be
right.
Yeah, because I want to test the model's intelligence and making and trying to understand how does this work in a space environment. Like, dang! Oh, Anthropic's coming back. No way.
Hell yes.
No way, bro.
Gotta keep your eyes on the prize.
No, my guy, distracting me with the questions. Let's go. Yo, we can't be doing that, man. We can't be doing that. Let's go. Yo, oh my God, tied up.
It is tied up. Is there sudden death or?
No, I should do that though. Whoa, actually, why don't we just prompt a mission to do that?
Yeah, probably could, right?
Death. Yeah.
Oh boy, this is getting a little crazy here.
Yeah. Somebody figured out the cheat code.
Oh no.
Wow, Eric is crushing it. Bro.
This is not good.
Okay, I think the AIs are playing. I have the AIs in hard mode. So when people leave the game, the AIs take over.
Oh, okay. And so
yeah, they're like.
So
really
the AIs are killing it.
Yeah, they're.
Now, are the AIs also running in SpacetimeDB?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I just told missions to basically come up with an NPC for it. And then it tested itself. So it spun up these headless browsers. It would take snapshots and it would see them grouping together and it start to change the code for how the time is.
So that they wouldn't all do the same, like go to the same place?
It's crazy.
That's
It's so crazy.
Like, my mind is blown every day with what you can do with this stuff.
Yeah. 4 goals from Eric.
Well, I know. They're 12-5.
Eric, holy
I thought we
fuck.
had a chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Eric came back in the game, man. He saved us.
Also, our team didn't manage to get any other than AI. So.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, that's YeeBall. So have some fun, folks. You can go and play with that. Illegal drugs, Eric. My guy. Yeah, I think Eric is. We got to drug test him for sure, dude. I know, right? That guy just came in out of nowhere, bro. It just like scored. So.
And I was playing that through my computer, through my phone, and all the way to the server.
Oh wow.
That I'm not on the Wi-Fi.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, dude. It felt super fast.
Yeah.
I told missions to fix my performance bugs, and it pretty much did that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about our platform is that we use it ourselves. So like we're running in production and we need the performance. In fact, if I had to build the platform alone, there's no way. We spent like 2 years just on performance.
Wow.
Because it's just I mean, it's an MMO, so it's got to be fast.
True.
Whereas if I didn't have to do that, I would have really focused a lot more on like, let's do web first and let's focus on all these features. But super helpful to have that forcing function to make you go fast.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's new in this 2.0 update?
Yeah, 2.0 is really all about coming to web. So like we did all the back-end stuff, and so we added a whole bunch of new web frameworks. So we have React, Svelte, basically if you can view all the ones you want. We also added things like event tables. So event tables are things that allow you to just publish like an ephemeral event to your client. So if you want to do like an alert or a particle effect or something like that, you can shoot those things out.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
Bunch of performance updates. We added new pricing on our cloud version of the database. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. If you guys build games, let me know. It'd be kind of fun to play. It's really fun that everyone's kind of able to join. We're literally playing live, across the wire. So I think it's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, the form is basically over for those who are looking. It was only for the live stream, those 200 million tokens. So if you're able to make it here, if you're rewatching this on the video on demand, the currently thing is, it was just kind of like a live build event. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But like next time, whenever we have another stream or whatever that goes down, make sure you show up and get those tokens, get whatever you can early and stuff.
For sure, and we're looking to do something for our own community as well. I'll just throw it there.
Oh, yo! So, what do you guys want from Spacetime? Let us know in the chat.
Let us know.
Yeah, and we can make it happen. Because it would be kind of cool to do like a build event.
I would love
in
to
public. Like maybe play some games somewhere, get inspired, throw the retro stuff back. Also, where is everyone at? I mean, people were. Somebody came from Malibu. Another person came from Thailand.
Here today.
Yeah, today.
Oh, that's
yeah,
incredible.
like the guy who won the Mac Mini, he was from Malibu.
That's amazing.
Another guy who won a year of factory credit was from Thailand. He's like, dude.
Wow. Just for this event, or was he in the
I
area?
think he came in the area for something. Yeah. And I was like,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but the other guy from Malibu flew over. There's another guy from San Diego flew over.
It's a super exciting time.
Yeah. It's
and just the fact that like we can make a lot of progress on something like this rather than having to kind of slog away and then be like, hey, I did a thing. I'm so excited for where hackathons are going to go because instead of it being like, hey, I spent all of Saturday doing my login system.
Yeah.
It's like now I actually built something.
That's so crazy. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I really appreciate everyone. What's the at? Oh, I think it's at SpacetimeDB.
At SpacetimeDB, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all one word. Is it underscore DB or something?
Only on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I believe on YouTube it should be just SpacetimeDB.
Yeah, so at SpacetimeDB on YouTube and then at Spacetime_DB on X, Twitter, whatever.
Yes, sorry, X. Old habits die hard.
Yeah.
It's so on X it's Spacetime_DB. My own Twitter handle is Tyler F. Cloutier. Good luck spelling that. It's
yeah.
I'll put it in chat maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna pull up in chat. Wow, this is yo, bro, Alex Finn. Yo, did you get the NVIDIA papers, bro? Let's see if we can pull up to GTC. Or yeah, it would be. I'm trying to see if I can get Alex Finn over into NVIDIA land, and we're gonna try to go see if we can watch the Jensen keynote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yes.
It's gonna be bonkers. So there's a bunch of stuff cooking with open models. My guy's bullish. I'm using SpacetimeDB. Yo, what are you cooking with, Alex? What's up? Let's talk. Okay. He's in town right now. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, let's talk tomorrow morning about it. Okay, cool. Slide in the DMs.
Oh, Alex Finn is using SpacetimeDB.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Slide in the
Love
DMs.
to see that.
Yeah. Cool, for sure. Yeah. Alex went MIA. No, he was on vacation, bro. My OpenClaw software factory is building a game with SpacetimeDB. Let's go.
There's the fact that sentence in 2026 is a thing that you can say is amazing.
I mean, he's serious though. He's got the whole thing. He's got stacks of computers.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy up in there, bro. Like it's so crazy. Yeah.
And I guess if anybody is a content creator out there and wants to work with us to build something really cool, I mean, we're all ears.
Alex versus Ray versus 1v1 soccer. Yeah, YeeBall.com with the challenge his bots to a YeeBall. That boy, Alexander. His name is Alex. ALEX, bro. Firm down their class. Okay, you guys are too much, man. Wow, this is a fire stream. I'm losing my voice. I was supposed to be kind of gone like 5 minutes ago. So huge shout outs to Factory for sponsoring this live stream. All the food, all the tokens. For those who are just joining in, they gave away a dump truck of tokens, so you had to be here to get them. But make sure you're here for the next event, and then let us know what we want to do with SpacetimeDB. It'd be so cool to do some type of community event, because like the builder energy is insane. Where do we got to pull up to? Is it New York? Is it California? Southern California? Hawaii? Like, let us know, and let's just build. I feel like this is the time to build and play games, and Spacetime is international too. I mean, when I first built my game, it was like I had someone in New Zealand, Australia, India, China, US. Like we're all playing 10 people like at the same time.
It's bringing people together.
It's freaking cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Super exciting. And wait till you find out about the time features of SpacetimeDB. That's a fun one.
Whoa, time. Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, I think thanks again to the folks at Factory. I think we're gonna hack things up because I think security's gonna start kicking folks out. Tyler, great to see you as well.
Great to meet you. I don't think we've met in person yet, so.
Yeah, I don't think we have. I think I may have seen you at Apple.
Oh yes,
maybe?
I guess we have.
Briefly, like overlap.
I recognize you, so there's no way that we didn't.
Exactly.
We were in there, so.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's so funny.
Good to see you. Great to be here. I mean, also thank you to Factory. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Super cool products.
Definitely. Yeah. Cool. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Alex, I'll see you soon too. Peace out, y'all. Finish up.